God, we're back once again. It's Wednesday. That means it's time to talk Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as I try to adjust my picture. I don't know why it's being all funky. But welcome to the Reality Skewed Gamers Wednesday Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream. I am one of your main hosts, Ranger J 1999, among others that put together this fine program. And of course, we're here to talk about everything Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes related, and we've got a ton of stuff to talk about tonight. Joining me tonight is a cast of characters that we all know and love, and we'll have more coming down the line as time permits. There's, you got lives, have to work and stuff like that. But we've first the Finn Adoodle himself, Finity, the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn, medicine woman. What's up, brother?
Hey, hey. Got to be back on the stream after a little bit. Usually just trolling, but now I'm here.
That's right. I like how you went gangster there. That
Damn
was
straight.
the word. All right. And then join us all the way across the pond in jolly old England is the Smith Lord himself, Smithy D.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on with you, brother? How's that young Sith in
Jedi
training
Luke.
Jedi Luke doing?
Did I Luke?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's doing quite well. He eats a lot. He eats a lot of milk. He's always eating milk every like 3 hours. You know, just milk, milk, milk. He's like massive now. He's like a little tank. He's
I like that.
huge.
That's right. He's huge. We're gonna make him great again. And also joining us is the lightsaber extraordinary builder of builders, Mr. Sir Loki, the god of mischief himself, has joined us. What's up, Mr. Loki?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Ranger? How are you?
What's going on, brother? I heard you are building another lightsaber.
I am. I am taking. Gonna be doing. Actually, I'm doing two. I'm gonna be doing a Darth Vader, and there
Oh
was
my god.
a Return of the Jedi Luke hilt that I'll be doing. So
And
it's gonna be
Smith
those two.
and Smithy just creamed his jeans.
Yeah, should be exciting. I'll share the build with you guys when it's all done.
Absolutely, man. We love seeing those in the Discord, and of course, you guys can check us out on our Discord. Feel free to join there anytime. We answer questions and do a lot of fun stuff in there. If you have any Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions you can't get to here, of course, you can post it in the YouTube or you can go to our Discord, which is linked below in the comments section. We got a lot to get to, but first, a big announcement. We would like to thank everybody, first of all, for all the subscribers to the channel. It's been amazing. We've just been going up and up and up, and subscriptions have been going up, views have been going up. But me and Finn, being the greedy buttholes that we are, have decided that we want to really push the envelope. So, here is the deal. And since you guys love me opening packs so much, if we can get to, by next stream, 1,000 subscribers, I will open up $100 worth of packs live on the next stream Wednesday. That's 1,000, not 998, not 999. Of course, more than 1,000 works, but if we get to over 1,000, I will open up $100 worth of packs. And that's the deal we're going to make with you. So that's the first announcement. Also, we have some videos out about the heroic AAT and things of that nature. Please check those out. A lot of people have been giving us a lot of great feedback and comments on those. Big shout out to Finn who put those together. Don't know how he does it. He has the patience. He loves doing that stuff. So we've got a Phase 4 clone team coming up. Finn, is that right?
Yes, that I think is right now going to be the last video on my plate. If there's anything else you guys are interested in, let me know.
Yeah, post in the
But
comments if you'd like us to do a specific team. If you'd like us to break down a specific team. In heroic or other areas, we can do videos on all of that. So give us some ideas in the comments below. We would love to hear your suggestions. We'd be more than glad to try to make that happen for you. Okay, and we'll definitely put that together for you guys. So let's do what we always do, and that is shout out everybody in the stream that is here right now. We always like to do that. Of course, Grim is there. Bimatsu with his spam symbol everywhere. Good God in heaven. King Felix is here. Shadow Veil's here. Shadow Veil, what's up, brother? MJ, he should be coming on the show. Hopefully, he can get on the show. Who else we got? KKith311. Can we ban that dude? I don't know.
I hope
Knights,
so.
yeah, Knights Templar. Ben Lazarus, thank you, Ben, for being here. Martin Waterman, thank you for being here. Knights Templar. I don't know if I said that, but Templar, good to see you here, buddy. We always appreciate you being here. Our boy Demordian, glad to have you here too. Eric S. I'm sorry about that. Teals, that's a
It's a
cool name.
single letter, dude.
Hey, I'm trying to
Seriously.
go. I saw the Z and then the teals below, and I'm trying to go through these as best I can.
It's a single letter.
Oh my God!
Not even the whole.
It's Captain Blackbeard himself. He's come from the Pirates of the Caribbean to come get us. Oh my God! Mr. Angry, I want to say Kraut, but I could be wrong. Z Gamer, and yes, I'm excited for the Battlefront 2 game as well. Z Gamer, John Knopf is here. Victor Oneto. Almost said that wrong. Lucas Tiernis is here. Our boy Lucas. Loki's in there too, jerking off. And then Alliance Pimp Ghost. What a great name. Alliance Pimp Ghost. What a great name. So, everybody, thank you for being in chat. If we didn't call it your name, we'll try to do it as we go along. We got a ton of stuff to talk about tonight, gentlemen. Man, oh man, when they put out stuff, they like to put it out. So, Finn, you've got the structure and the format for what we're going to be discussing tonight. And of course, you guys keep it busy in chat. Let us, in the subjects as we cover them. Finn, what are we going to be covering first on the show?
Well, because of a comment that I saw in the chat, I want to go a little off script for the first thing, actually.
Oh my God!
And it's actually a little non-Star Wars related.
Oh my God!
But Shadowvale posted that R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
Yes.
Charlie Murphy has unfortunately died.
Yes, I forgot. I found that out
battling
late this
leukemia.
afternoon. That's a shame.
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is, that's Eddie Murphy's brother, and he was a great comedian on his own. But Dave Chappelle brought him into the limelight with his Rick James skit, the Prince skit he did as well. Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories. And then a lot of the other stuff that he did too when they did. I mean, he did so many funny things. I would show video clips of it, but I'm sure I would get copyrighted. So that's why we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, to pay homage to him. If you haven't watched it, just type in Charlie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, and prepare to piss your pants laughing because that's some of the funniest stuff ever. I mean, he was a hoot, man. And big bucket of win to you, Charlie Murphy, wherever you are. Big shout out. Incredible life, made a lot of people laugh, so thinking about you, bud. All right.
Like what Mr. Angry Kraut said, F yo couch.
Yeah. Buy another one, you rich mother. Oh, Charlie Murphy.
All right, so
darkness is spreading.
No easy way to transition, so we'll just go straight into SWGOH now.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff that came in the latest update. So we'll try to break these down into smaller little bites for everyone, and then we can kind of throw around our thoughts about it. So the first thing is some of the new things that pay-to-play players have access to.
Okay.
So the TIE Reaper and Kylo's command shuttle have been added to the Fleet Mega Pack.
Fleet Mega Pack. Okay, let me go to there.
People have had different thoughts about the Fleet Mega Pack. How worth it is it to actually spend money to try and get it? And even though it's really more of a pay-to-play kind of thing, one of the things just was always whether or not free-to-play should try and save for it, and if it's worth it. So just to kind of go around here, Loki, what do you think about the Fleet Mega Pack now having the TIE Reaper and the Kylo's command shuttle?
I think it's I mean, I guess for a pay-to-play, I mean, I'm pay-to-play, but it's not enough to have me pay more now. But it is a good value. I think a lot of people tend to overlook that you could get also the character as well. So I'm going to assume that I haven't looked at it, but I'm going to assume that the Death Trooper and Shore Trooper and all the other crew members for each ship are also added in there, and you can get 100 shards. I think there's a chance to do it. So I think it's a good value. I mean, it's good if you can get first in your arena for like 5 days. I think you're going to have enough. It's like 25 and some change or something like that, the crystals. So I bought the mega pack until I got the 100. I haven't put this video up. I can't believe it, but I do have a video of me pulling a 100 Millennium Falcon shards, and then I stopped. So it's possible to get the big drops like that. So yeah, I like the idea.
What about you, Smithy?
Yeah, I don't really see anything wrong with it. They're going to go in there at some point. These ships are. It's only natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean it's interesting. It is trying to bring a lot of the different uh I guess ships that people were asking about that weren't available at all in the game. TIE Reaper was available for a short time period, and that kind of grab bag between TIE Reaper and TIE Advance. So that was pretty much the only period I can remember that people were actually able to get that. So at least now it's in some place where people can get it if they really want to. I haven't done the numbers yet, but it still seems like 2,500 for that pack is somewhat steep if you end up with a lot of fives. I know Loki said he got the 100, which is nice, but I think overall people are still probably getting towards the lower end. So it's just
Well, I think that for the
isn't.
for the ship for the mega pack, so you
Mhm.
get what you pay for. I think if you're a newer player that's behind the curve a little bit, the good thing about
Mhm.
this pack is you do get characters and you get a chance for characters and for the ships as well. So it's a double bonus. I mean, you are rolling the dice to try to hopefully get what you want. However, that being said, I think if you're coming up and you've got some money, you want to. This is a pretty good pack for that. Now,
Yeah.
if you're a character like if you're a person like me that has most of these characters, if not all, unlocked, and most of the ships done, this doesn't make sense. All right, unless you're a whale like Loki or Grande or Bimatsu and you don't care because you build lightsabers as a living and make a fortune. But that would be the only time I recommend this pack. But if you're just getting into ships and you're a newer player and you want to spend some money, this is a pretty damn good pack for the characters you get and the ships you get with it. Especially if you're interested in ships, which you should be, so you can get your Zetas. This is a pretty solid pack. So I think that's where I think people need to be hesitant on that. If you already have most of this unlocked, it's not the best pack to be spinning crystals on. My 2 cents on the subject. Do we need to
Yeah.
look at this any more? Should we move on to the next topic of discussion?
No, we can move on to the next one, which is
Issue
more
number
towards the
2.
free to play.
All right, let's do it.
So it's now the free to play thing, the free to play player access stuff. So you have Krennic and Death Trooper being
Okay,
added to the Shard Shop,
let's go there.
going into hard light side 9D, and Death Trooper going into Cantina 8A.
Right. And you can see I've
So
got
you
mine
have
up
a
right now.
pretty
You can see Death
well,
Trooper in
I
there.
assume so because we have a 30-second delay.
Yeah, that's why I said it,
So
Finn. Jesus. We've got Krennic. You can get Death Trooper. I am. This is where I'm coming from. I'll farm those guys regularly, especially Death Trooper with the double drops coming. You can see I had 2 tie advances up there. You bet your butt I bought those.
you got lucky with that.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, you are lucky with that.
Mm-hmm. I saw 2 and I was
I
like,
got
oh,
no tie advance
I
today.
was like, oh my god, I gotta get that. No, Ewok, and I did not open a pack. Sick of you. No, I love Ewok, and I'm just
You
kidding.
had it open to the mega pack, so you had them all happy.
I know. She's like, I think Ewok and just wants me to
Well,
go
Ewalkin, in
bankrupt.
case you missed it at the beginning, since you're just joining, if we can get up to 1,000 subscribers by the next stream, Ranger's going to open $100 worth of crystals and packs
That's right.
next stream. So there's your job. If you want to see Ranger open packs, go get people to subscribe to our channel.
There you go. All right.
Bringing it all together.
All right. So we had the Shard Shop, and then we had Light Side Battles 9D, which I haven't done yet.
For Krennic.
Yeah, for Krennic.
And then also Death Trooper is in Cantina 8A.
Yep, he's in 8A now. And let's go to 8A. Hopefully we can go to 8A. Please, God, for the love of God. Yep, 8A. That is correct. So, yeah. What do we?
So
Let's get Smithy on this. What do you think of these add-ons that CG has put in for these characters and stuff?
And the Krennic one, I kind of expected that Krennic would probably go into a hard node. It kind of thinks it's kind of like the suit is probably going to follow. You're probably going to see Nihilus go into there, but hopefully he goes into the Shard Shop first, like Krennic has, or some of us could be farming for a very long time. but he's not an essential character. He's an essential character. You could run Death Trooper on his own. So Death Trooper in the cantina is a great place to put him. Yeah, I think it's solid. You know, it's not like the whole Bays where unsure where you need characters and they're in one side of the game for farmable. But yeah, I think it's good. I thought maybe that we'd have probably seen that Krennic could have gone into the cantina and Death Trooper go into the hard node. But I'm happy they're in the shard shop and probably the better one of the two anyway. So I would probably
yeah.
yeah.
All right, and then Loki, your thoughts, my friend?
I agree that Death Trooper is probably he's the better of the two, and he's on an easier to farm node. So I'm farming him as well. I did not buy him in the past. I got him. I think I got him today at 6-star. So I'm going to continue finishing him through the double event. I mean, it's going to be
Oh yeah, I'm
great.
gonna be farming the piss out of them. Godly, you better believe it.
Yeah, I mean it's when TIE Fighter Pilot dropped, I mean I was farming him too. So my mod farming's going to be put on hold for a little bit, but
That's okay.
I think Death Trooper is a good investment. If Rebels ever make the comeback, then at least you got one unit that could, almost give them a hard time. So, Krennic, Smithy said it in the past as well that he's probably going to go into a hard node. I think he's the lesser of the two. You definitely need Death Trooper if you're going to run the Krennic, but Death Trooper alone, I've seen him in Zol teams. I've seen him in
Zader.
Rex-led teams. Zader, he's really versatile, and he's the only one with an AoE healing immunity, which is rare in the game. So, good job on
yeah,
it,
I think this is a pretty good job by CG. Because there's now multiple areas to get these characters. You can get them in the shard shop. You can get them out at nodes. You can still, if you want, you can use crystals to get them if you really want these characters. I think the diversity of having different places to get these tunes is fantastic. I wish they had done this with some of their other characters, right? If you have multiple areas where you can get characters and be able to farm them, that's nice. And CJ, I commend you. I really like this move of where you put the characters and to have access. And I also like that you're doing you launch Death Trooper and then you do double Cantina. Fantastic, brilliant, brilliant stuff from CG. Finn, your thoughts?
I guess there's good things and bad things to this for me. Overwhelmingly, it's good though. I love the placement of Krennic. He's in a node with a ship also. So if you're farming that, you also can get the Geonosian soldier ship, which I love. It doesn't make the drop rates necessarily seem as bad if you're getting one of each or something like that.
Yeah.
So I love that. I agree is the better of the two. So it's nice that he's in Cantina. Krennic and Death Trooper are in Shard Shop. If people really want to get him, they can work on him through there. I guess it's a little bit of a change, I think, from when they did Bays and K2SO, which is that they actually put him available at the same time as a Shard Shop, which is really nice. I'm thinking that Krennic, and so this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just something I'm thinking about as we're moving forward. They're obviously moving a little bit more towards Empire characters.
Yeah.
And with Krennic's lead ability giving protection, I'm wondering if maybe he's going to have a lot more play in the game.
Well, we talked about this earlier.
Relatively soon, and
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Loki, Smithy, we've had discussions about this. For an Empire team, Vader's just a better leader. We've had this discussion before. Smithy, we talked about this earlier about Vader with Death Trooper being a better fit than with Krennic per se. What are your thoughts on that?
But that's with the current characters.
Or the current characters, but
so they just released 2 other Empire characters today, and it sounds like they have more coming.
That's true. Smithy, your thoughts?
The problem you've got with Krennic is his lead is great. It's a great lead. You're gonna need a character in there, to kind of like speed them up, so they can get a quicker first turn. But it is great, if this all turned into a Rogue One meta and everyone started running around with Rogue One, then Krennic would be, decent with new Empire characters. But then it also comes into play that if you are free to play or a less spender on Krennic, because there might be a part where he's meta, he may only be meta when other characters are within that team that are probably going to be payable, be the free to play friendly for a long time. We could be talking a good while. If more Empire characters do come out, which it does look like that at the moment, they're not going to be farmable for probably about 2 to 3 months, and then depends where they go again. Kind of like plan out these things, not just jump in and go, whoa, Krennic's in there, I best buy him because he's on a hard node. Nihilus could be there. Sith Assassin could be there. Anything could change. They could put that in there in a few weeks' time, and then you'll probably be like, oh, why didn't I, do this? Why didn't I go with currently? So just make sure that with your shard currency that you're being wise with it, because it definitely doesn't grow on trees, especially for the free to play. It's quite kind of hard to build up a good amount of shards. Where if you're payable, if you play the game by chromiums, then you haven't got an issue. You could put it in another $100 and then probably get like another 30,000 shards. But if you're free to play, just be wise. And if you do want to go the Empire route, go it for that reason that you want Krennic, not because that you feel that you have to have him because he's in a hard node.
Yeah, great point. Real quick, you notice Grande's not here tonight. One of his little ones is sick, so he's at home taking care of her. For people wondering, so hopefully she feels better, Grande.
I did end up getting here. I apologize for being late.
Oh! Well, look who it is, everybody. Mage Ducky.
Guess what, guys? Sharut's in the Bronzium.
No, actually, didn't you hear me? It's Darth Nihilus is in Bronziums now.
Mm-hmm. Breaking news.
Thank you, Smithy. Here, I thought MJ was the only one who kept that going, and nope, I got you here too.
No. Certain things will never die. The butt sock and Chirrut and Bronziums. God.
Yeah, I think what
Ranger
we're
runs off and pulls them.
There are definitely worse things that I could be tied to.
Who was speaking? Go ahead.
I think that was Luke.
No,
it was Grande.
I said,
Oh my God! Look who it is. The great beardless government Wi-Fi stealing one himself. Gandalf.
What up?
Hey, Grande, you sound like you're calling from like outside your prison cell.
Yeah, is this a boner phone?
Well, you know what? I was, and I decided not to do a face reveal with Blue Aura because I thought that might be a little bit creepy for everybody.
Isn't this awesome? Grande's in prison and we're his one call.
That's right. And I will tell you, I think Mage Ducky was just about 6 months early on the Chirrut and Bronzium. It wasn't that he was wrong. It's just that he was really, really early. He's like those people that put up their Christmas tree in October. He's like one of those guys.
Well, and here I was thinking that, hey, here's Grande to my rescue. And then he compares me to the crazies that put trees up in October. And so I'm not sure if you did me a service or not.
Well, I gotta tell you, you're good, and then I gotta kind of just, hit you one time a little bit in the ribs.
Yeah, gotta make sure the ego doesn't get too big, right? A couple ribs every now and then.
Yeah, like that's ever a problem for me. Oh my God. Oh. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing?
Good.
We're just wondering about your little one.
So my wife came home, and my wife and I was like, honey, I really need to get to the office and do a few things. And I've been here all day with this one, cleaning up puke. Can you clean up puke for a little bit? She's like, okay.
She's a good woman.
That's how that went down.
She's a good woman.
I'm telling you. All right. She's looking at me with those sexy eyes because I've been taking care of our kid all day. So.
And you left.
And you left.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I've been taking care of her since like 3 a.m. this morning, and it's now, it's now 7:30. I think it's okay that I leave for a couple of hours.
She's
now.
got
when you get the sexy eyes, and you decide that's the time to leave.
One look at
So-
Grande and I can't survive.
oh my gosh.
All right. So, Grande, we've been talking about some of these changes. I didn't know you were going to be on, so I'm glad to have you aboard. You know, what are your thoughts about Krennic and Death Trooper, my friend? Overall, about where they were placed and everything like that.
Um, I mean, of course they placed it where, I think this one they got right. You can run Death Trooper without Krennic if you need to. You can't really say, hey, I'm going to run a Krennic lead, or I'm going to run Krennic on the team and not put Death Trooper on.
Hmm.
So they did make it a little bit easier. They look, they were out of Cantina nodes except for 20 Cantina refreshes. So if you're a big, hardcore, got to have Death Trooper, got to have Krennic kind of guy, then great. I personally would have liked to have seen it where that they both had a hard node, and then maybe still gave Krennic still gave Death Trooper the Cantina node. That's just for those people who, like myself, that like to do hard nodes or have hard nodes that need to be done, and so so that way you could have slow farmed it if you wanted to, right, and just taken a little bit longer approach. As far as putting them in the shard shop, nobody's. I don't think anybody's got enough shop currency left to
I do.
7-star anybody.
Oh, I've got a buttload, buddy. But I'm
I
saving
got-
mine
I
for
got-
Type
yeah.
Pies.
I got 30k.
Yeah,
I've got
I'm doing
30k
Advance.
saved away.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I don't think that today is the day to spend it on Krennic and
Not
Death
yet.
Trooper.
No.
No.
I mean, I don't think they're OP enough, right? I mean, Baze Malbus, great, right? But besides that, the characters we've seen in there, I mean, K2SO is not so OP that somebody needs to go get him out of the shard shop.
And half the game got him for free.
And what's your point,
And-
Finn? You gonna cry some
And,
more?
well, I mean, I'm past that, right? But I just,
I'm still not past it.
well, I think people could slow play it, really slow play it, and it would be just fine.
I just love your tears, guys. They taste so delicious and yummy. Keep
Yeah,
them coming.
I would just like to point out that I recently 7-starred K2SO from being 6-star from the event. So I'm very grateful that it went to Galactic War Store.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to put that in your face. I'm sorry, viewers. I didn't mean to put that into your face.
No, put it in Grande and Finn's face. Wee.
Hey,
Wee.
I'm good. Hey, just so you know, I think I'm about 2 Galactic War refreshes away from having 7-star K2SO as well. So it's
I'm about 5 or 6 Galactic War refreshes from even caring about K2SO.
Hey, but that means you're close.
Wee.
Means the next couple days, right?
Oh Lord.
Well, I mean, I still think that there's some ships to get out of there that are more important than K2SO.
Mhm.
And then I think once you got those ships to a good working level for you, whether that's 7-star or 5-star to complete a couple challenges, then you have to make a choice as far as whether or not it's Bodhi Rook or whether or not it's K2SO. I think K2SO is a better choice than Bodhi.
I would agree with that.
An overall general character. However, because of the turn meter manipulation and a couple other things that Bodhi does, out of the realm of possibility that long term, Bodhi might be a little bit more versatile. But we got plenty of rebels. He does. There are as far as I know, there's only 3 taunting rebels. So your choices, and there's really only one android that has a true taunt, right? I mean, the ant has like I'm going to make somebody else taunt thing, but you could easily 7-star that droid fight back event here with K2SO, whereas you may or may not get that with Bodhi.
Fair enough. All right.
But as and looking at it long term, like as a player that's kind of younger, getting Bodhi as another easy to farm rebel might be nice so that you can get Palpatine.
That's true. And this has been Deep Thoughts from prison by Grande Patron. All right, what's next on the agenda there, Finn?
Well, Mage Ducky came at a good time here.
All right.
So
Time to
one of
bring
the
in some
other
Mage Ducky. Oh my god.
So one of the other things that you saw in Ranger's Shard Shop is that Kai Advanced is now available in the Shard Shop.
It
However,
is.
he's going to be on rotation in the regular. He's not going to be kind of standard in the upper rows like Krennic and Death Trooper. But he is also now available in fleet shipments.
Mm-hmm.
Mage Ducky, Kai Advanced, now available in fleet shipments. Your thoughts?
That's great, honestly. He's the king of target locks. He really helps bring a target lock fleet together, and especially against all of the Akbars out there, because you get a free proc. Like if you're using him in conjunction with Biston, you get a free proc on that, free proc on Biggs whenever Akbar goes to the cleanse. He also is an alternative dispel, so you can stop running Ahsoka in your target lock teams. Could kind of compete with Fives for that spot. They both have different roles that they play. But people like myself who pushed hard, got him in the event, in the tournament. We've had our few months of, advantage or whatever. And now it's going to be nice to see him come up as general availability for everybody, because that's just going to help diversify fleet shards a little bit more. And it's nice for people like me who only got him 4-star to actually get him maxed out at 7-star, where he's actually going to have full crew contribution of speed and health. So I like the shard shop rotation, and it doesn't really matter to me. But the fleet shipments is great. The one downside in this coming is that he's put in the top center slot, which is where the Scimitar and Slave 1 are also located, both of which are high-value ships that you should always buy. But so the problem now is that you have one extra ship in that slot that's going to dilute your chances of getting one particular ship that you want. If you need to work on all...
Yeah, in some ways that's good, and in some ways that's bad, right? So if you needed 2 out of 3 of those ships, you only had like a 66% chance of getting a ship you needed. Whereas now potentially you have a 75% chance of getting a ship you needed. So it's it's good and bad, right?
It differently. Yeah, if you still need all 3 of them, then your odds went up to get something that's beneficial. Right. But your odds to get a specific ship that you want went down.
Correct.
But overall, like it makes sense. Like I wouldn't want it to be a near permanent addition like Sunfac is, taking up 3 slots in there all the time. He still needs to be a harder to obtain ship because of his position in the game right now.
You say that they said to activate Kylo Ren's ship. Okay, I'll activate it.
They just want to see the animation.
I know.
Cheap trick.
Oh hey, you can that's 47, so 12 shipments, Ranger, and you'll be able to unlock TIE Advanced.
Yeah, I'm getting there. And then I will definitely be doing a Tarkin fleet. He's the one ship I don't have for that, but my other ships are the TIE Fighter, all that are done. So we may have some fun with Ship Show coming up here real soon.
Yay.
All right. Anybody else? Loki, Smithy on the ships.
I got nothing else to add.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Very compelling arguments.
Yes. All right. Oh my God. All right. What's next, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman?
So we had it mentioned by, I think it was Loki a little bit earlier, with Death Trooper, which is that the event is expected to start tomorrow. So for those of you guys that aren't aware, Star Wars Celebration is currently going to start tomorrow. I believe it's from the 13th to the 17th. So there's 5 days of Star Wars Celebration.
The celebration.
And to coincide. So, R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. All right. So to coincide with the celebration, they're also doing an event in the game where your Cantina battles, and it doesn't specify the mod, so it's only going to be for the shards. So your Cantina battles will get double rewards. So what are your strategies to make the most use of this? Let's start with Smithy.
I'm gonna go after Death Trooper because he's got some double omegas there that need grabbing.
You're damn right.
And Death Trooper, of course, but
That's right.
those double omegas that there's a small chance of them dropping. I'm going in for it, and I'm going in for the kill.
He's gonna go in full throttle.
And leave my death mark on that trooper.
Is that what we're calling it now?
What about you, Loki?
I'm also going to go for Death Trooper. I don't have him maxed out yet, star-wise, so I'm going to go for him. And then I'm also on an Omega drought. I got plenty of Zetas. I just don't have enough Omegas, so I'm hoping they drop for the first time, because last time I got Omegas and Cantinas was probably the last double drop event. So looking forward to it.
Mr. Grande Patron?
I have a question. Do mods have a double drop rate or just Cantina?
It looks like just Cantina battles based on the wording.
Yep,
Yeah,
they
it's
said
just
there's Cantina double drop, not Cantina energy double drop.
Correct.
You don't get mod double drops anymore.
Maybe for May the 4th, but not right now.
I gotta tell you, if it was mod double drop, there'd be no question to me what the heck I was doing.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, I guess I'll go for Death Trooper with a double drop rate. I mean, it's my choices. My choices in there now are Death Trooper, Kid Fisto, Night Sister Acolyte, and Geospy.
Oh, go for Geospy. He has such an amazing ship.
How dare you, sir?
Mage Ducky loves him.
By the way, boys and girls,
There's girls.
sometimes we have to slap Mage Ducky. That's what we call sarcasm.
Mm.
Don't go for Sun. Don't
Hey,
go
Ranger,
for
can
Geospy.
with your new Batmobile.
What's that?
New Batmobile.
Just make sure you do a second battle to take him out so he's not in there on defense.
I'm not putting
Overnight.
Carlos Ren's ship in. Are you crazy?
Oh no! You brought it. You gotta use it.
No, I don't. This is my game. I'll play the damn well way I want to.
We all want to see Ranger use Kylo's ship.
I don't care if the Pope says.
People
use
will want to
Kylo
see
Ren.
Ranger do anything silly.
Come on.
Everybody raise your hand.
Raise your hand to the heavens.
Come on,
I am
Ray.
not using Kylo Ren's ship.
Raise your
Come
hand
on,
and
we
put
wanna
it
see
right
it. I
up
wanna
against
see
the
it in
enemy.
action.
Oh.
So if the
I
government
don't
really
even
can't
have
spy
them
on you,
leveled. So what? I go in there and get my ass kicked for your pleasure? No, thank
Well,
you.
level them up. Level them up.
I don't know if I even
Hey,
have
you want
enough
1,000 subscribers, don't you?
No, they can
waste all
I've
those
already
resources, man. Waste all of
bull. I already put out what I'll do for 1,000 subscribers. You know, I am not a prostitute.
Wait. What are you doing?
Okay.
Wait. What are we doing for 1,000 subscribers?
I will open
Put
$100.
Kylo Ren's ship in.
No, I
in
will
the
open up
fleet.
$100 worth of packs if we get to 1,000 subscribers by next Wednesday.
Come on, just do one battle then. Can you level up a little bit?
Oh, Jesus
How
Christ!
close are we to 1,000?
We're at 860.
We're at
right
860.
860, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So who am I going to?
That could actually happen.
Well, we'll see. All right, I'm going to do a battle. Who am I replacing with Kylo Ren's ship, Kylo Ren?
who all? Let me go back and see who all you
I'm
have.
running
on
Biggs, Bubba, Jedi Counselor, First Order TIE Pilot, and Geonosian Soldier. My reinforcements are Scimitar, Ahsoka, and TIE Pilot.
Geo Soldier. If you're putting him on your front line, Geo Soldier is the weakest member
I'm
there.
about to get my ass smoked.
All I know, you know.
I hit all of you. He's level 63. Here we go.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's a trap.
So
man.
while he's doing that, Mage Ducky,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
how do you plan on taking
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
advantage?
With all ships
How
that
do
be
you
sucked
plan
at
on
the same
taking
thing.
advantage of double drops?
Why
Ducky?
is the TIE fighter on your pen?
Because I'm not running a I'm running an Akbar ship. So
We have lost control here.
I run TIE Fighter on my fleet with an Akbar ship.
Well,
Yeah, he's like one of the best ships to use, man.
I'm using
But
First
it-
Order TIE Pilot.
First Order TIE Pilot with equal crew contribution does more damage over time, does more burst damage, has almost the same chance to target lock, 66 versus 70% on TFP. TFP does have more chance to dodge, so it's debatable, depending on RNG, whether or not he has more
I use
survival.
both of them in my arena fleet.
I use both of them in mine too.
Well, no, you can, but under an Akbar lead, enough means to reliably target lock. So I was recommending that he go with JC instead, simply because he could go with the assist attack to get additional protection up,
Oh my god!
and go with Jedi Consular for the same reason.
All right, it's. I think Kylo Ren. I've gone 2 times, and Kylo Ren hasn't even gone yet. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he's the second slowest.
All
or
right, what am I
slowest
using here, Mage Ducky?
Why didn't you go
Advanced
for the
January.
advantage and go for the crits
Spell
up?
all buffs on target
Like
enemy. With
the enemy just did.
Yeah, okay,
Why
so
didn't
don't-
you do that?
I mean, yeah. I'm watching on the stream, not on the
I don't know what
Hangouts.
I'm using here.
Oh
Oh
but-
my god!
honestly, I don't even off the
I
top
have
of my
to-
head.
I
I don't
don't
remember
even
his
know.
abilities.
I don't even know. So
I know they're I know they're a bunch of turn meter manipulation.
I know.
But
I didn't
They're all
know.
red in color.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty cool looking actually.
You don't
He might
wanna
have
do
the best ability graphics out of any ship.
the advanced jamming array is a good one to drop onto the enemy bigs.
Yeah, I'll use that. I think I just used it by accident because I'm getting a little lag.
No, that's fine.
Oh,
Surprise raid is good to use on somebody who's basically empty, preferably not first order type pilot because he's going to get a lot of turn meter anyway.
What did-
Boba is a great target for that because you speed up his missile and seismic charge cooldowns.
It's always funny to watch you do a ship Power Ranger.
No.
what's that?
Wait, what happened?
It's just funny to watch Ranger. He does like the opposite to what he's supposed to do.
He does the opposite of what he's supposed to do. It's always funny to watch him. He always does the opposite. Maybe you should be on the Mage Ducky Ship Spectacular show.
Well, I
Yes,
wasn't
did-
planning on using this stupid ship, but y'all made me. I didn't have any prep time to even look at them. So I'm like, look at them, like, okay, I've got 4. I got to just play, you know. It's totally
Okay, yeah,
screwed up what I'm
so,
trying to do. I hate all of you.
You're playing like 2 times speed as well. You ever have timeouts?
No.
No, I never. My battles pretty much only ever last 2.5 to 3 minutes on 2 times. Okay, you keep using strafe on first order TIE pilot.
Shut up! I'm
when-
playing the game. I don't need commentary. You're the dill holes that made me do this, so you will shut your pie holes.
Wait, I got one. For those
I
guys
just-
watching at home, this is not how you do a ship battle.
No, and if you have buddies that's like, hey, do a ship battle when you've never used a ship before and have no idea what the hell it does, tell them to eat cock.
That doesn't
I
affect
did
the rest
that
of your
4
fleet.
months ago. No, sorry, 6 months ago and 5 months ago when ships came out.
Jesus Christ. I cannot believe I'm doing this battle like this.
I'm
God.
sorry, Ranger.
This was a great stream for me not to be in the chat because Ranger just trolling himself the entire ship battle.
I'm not trolling crap, man. I'm gonna kiss my ass. Oh, this is brutal. This is so brutal.
And there, despite the fact that Biggs was taunting because he was so low health, he probably should have dropped retribution onto Boba,
I was
so
trying
that
to.
after Biggs took one hit, then Boba starts doing the
Mage,
job.
I didn't ask you.
You're driving Mage Ducky insane.
I don't care.
I'm sorry, House.
He's over here convulsing. He's over here.
I hope he has an
convulsing about all the
aneurysm.
problems you're making. he's like, my buddy is messing up. I don't know what's going on.
Boom. Okay, there goes Biggs. Now Biggs is dead. The enemy Biggs.
Yeah, you could have won this like 3 minutes ago.
Well, if I was using my regular fleet and not some dink ass ship.
I don't know. I don't think that ship did bad. I just think that you just used the wrong. Like you opened it instead of
I
using the
didn't know what it
advantage
was.
up,
I
you
tried
went
to
for
read
the
it real
assist
quick,
when
and
you had.
it's too.
What about an Akbar ship? You went for the assist attack when you only had one buff ship instead of two buff ships. Instead of going for that
Because Biggs had
advantage
his
where you're
taunt
going to get
up.
all the guaranteed crits.
Let's see.
I would just like to point out that Luke Marley has a very interesting perspective on things. He says he's gonna drop like 30 places in ship arena, simply because Kylo Ren's ship is in there.
Yeah,
because everybody wants to
hold.
fight.
Ranger better not
Oh
hope that they
my
bring
God.
out Ranger better hope that they don't bring out live ship PvP. Sorry, Ranger.
For the record, Ranger, I'd just like to point out I haven't been contributing for the last short while.
He's been trying not to. He's been holding his mouth.
Infinity, please tell me you have the YouTube chat open.
Yes, I have it open.
Yeah.
You should read the most recent reference to CG because I don't want to get in trouble.
You don't want to get in trouble.
So the link makes
Okay.
the comment
Late,
to set up the model of AI for chips.
Late Pick said to Ranger, CG should use Ranger as a model for the AI.
You see what happens when you try to indulge the fans, Ranger.
They are cruel and tear into you. So what this shows is never do stuff for the viewers.
Yeah.
Grim said to you, it's okay, Ranger. Kylo's ship isn't that bad once you learn to use it.
I never use it for it. I mean, it's like, you guys are like, oh, why are you using this? Like, I never even touched the ship.
No. To be fair, we probably should have taken a moment to review his ship, both for you and for the viewers, before we went into using it. If it makes you feel any better, I actually, as soon as you started the fight, had to go pull up his page on SWGOH.gg just to refresh what his abilities were.
Well, isn't that convenient when it's a draw? Well, I didn't lose, but I didn't win either, like I normally do.
Would this be like because you were on times two?
No, because I had Kylo Ren's ship in there and I spent 30 seconds looking at the damn thing.
Yeah, to be fair, Smithy, I only ever use ×2, and I have.
Yeah, I've never timed out with ×2.
I've never timed out. Heck, I only timed out once my entire life with normal one-time speed before they introduced the increased animation speed, and that's just because I didn't fast forward through capital ship animations. Otherwise, with auto. Otherwise, now that they have the 2x, which is the same speed as the old auto, battles never time out.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No.
All right, now that disaster's over,
though, is that
I had to do another battle to take the damn thing out now. Jesus Christ.
Well, Ben Lazarus does say again, he wants to see another battle.
And again.
No! I am not doing another battle with that shit.
And John Knopf says this is what I call the moral loss.
It's a hell of a lot more than that.
All right.
Kylo Ren's ship.
So let's try to get back on track here.
You crack at it.
Ranger's got to do another ship battle.
I will, but not with Kylo Ren.
With the double cantina that's coming out now, what is your strategy on making use of double cantina then?
I desperately need speed mods, therefore I'm going to get Death Trooper. Because double drops cannot be ignored no matter how badly you need mods. And out of all of the options available, I run Zader, and Death Trooper is the one that most closely synergizes with my arena team, and he's supposed to do pretty well against Zal, which I need help with on my team. So I'm going to be spamming his node as much as I can.
And he has a ship.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a pilot.
Yes, he has a ship that I will not be investing in.
I'm just
at all.
we're just throwing it out there though, right? I mean, he is a pilot, so I mean,
Yes,
I think he just sits in the
he
ship.
is a pilot. But he's not. Nope, not going there.
most
I
people
will.
don't
How's
either.
this? I'll be fair to the TIE Reaper. Should we get higher ships, there is a good possibility that the Reaper will have a place. More Empire ships that themselves have synergy with other Empire ships to tie the Reaper in. He doesn't have much.
Saxon has a ship, doesn't he, in Rebels?
Yeah, he'll be. I think that's his ship that's coming in later. It's not introduced in the game, but it's in the update.
Yeah, it's some sort of
Hacker or something like that. Let me see what the exact.
I was just
Gauntlet
gonna
Starfighter.
Gauntlet Star. Yeah.
The Ranger's gone in for another battle.
Not with
Pretty
Kylo Ren.
interesting.
Now,
So-
whoa, okay.
So while you're doing that, Ranger, what's your strategy?
I don't want to share it because you guys have been very, very mean to me, coaches, and I don't like it.
Did you just kill Wedge instead
Yes.
of Biggs?
Yes,
No,
I
but
killed
you
Wedge
wanna do
instead of
that.
Biggs.
Okay. All right.
So
So,
you want to do that?
so Jack Jr. asked, how long is the double cantina going to last? So here is something for all of you guys that are preparing for this event to just remember. It's supposed to last for 5 days, which is the extent of the celebration. So the listed time is from the 13th until about the 17th. But we usually see,
Why? Sorry, go on.
we usually see these events coming into the game usually late in the U.S. time period. I think a lot of times it's around 8 p.m. Eastern time, around 5 p.m. So maybe when they're ending their workday over at CG. So for the upcoming day in particular, make sure you guys are not using your Cantina refreshes until you need to at the end of the day, so that you're not missing out on the double drops. And because you're getting double drops, the 100 crystal refreshes are almost the equivalent of 50 crystals since you're getting double drops. So try to do both of the 100 crystal refreshes because they will give you the most bang for your buck during this time period. Me personally, in terms of characters, I'm debating. I still need to get Kylo and Dooku done, so I may go after them or Death Trooper because of his Omegas. I haven't decided which, but those are the three that I'll be deciding between.
And they have a tendency to turn it off early, so they turn it on late and they turn it off early.
Right.
So
yeah, so on the
basically,
17th, spend it early.
so basically, wait to start it as late as you can until they do it, and once they start it, do them immediately after reset every time until they take it away.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Completely agree. What else do we have on the agenda?
We have a lot. So, Ranger, are you going to disclose your strategy or no?
Death Trooper, leave me alone.
I feel like I might be forgetting someone, but I think everybody here said they were going Death Trooper or had Death Trooper in their list of options.
I think so.
Yes.
I mean that. So we had a almost 100% agreement on this. That's pretty cool.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting point, though. I guess all of our rosters, I think, are fairly high enough to do
Yeah.
a lot of this.
Some people are
so
not.
let's look at it from a newer player point of view then. So we have a newer player that's, let's say, maybe just hit level 85, still working on 7-starring characters.
I tell you what, I think we start all the way at the bottom. So we start with a guy who just unlocked Cantina, right? Somebody who just barely unlocked Cantina. Who should they go for on the first level of Cantina? My first thought on who they should go for is they should go for Lando.
So I'll open my game here, and let's just look at what shards are available on each level of Cantina.
Yep.
So on level 1, we have Geonosian Soldier, Luke, Chewie, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, Lando, and Talia. So you're saying Lando, Grande, right?
I'm saying if we were looking at level
1 of Cantina.
At level 1 of Cantina, we would want to look at Lando. Yes. Does anybody disagree with that on level 1 of Cantina?
Well, that's like really kind of like the start of the game, isn't it?
That's what we're trying to do. Kind of going for, if we have newer players that are trying to make use of the double drops, who should they be farming if they only have access to the first tier? If then we can go first and second and kind of work our way up.
Yeah. So then I think after that it wouldn't. You'd be looking at somebody like TIE Fighter Pilot, right? As another choice, or you'd be looking at Scarif Rebel Pathfinder.
Kylo Ren.
But I probably would say that you would want to look at you would highly want to look at some of those characters.
Second level also has Old Ben, who I think for lower levels may still provide a nice lead evasion. TIE Fighter really needs like an Empire team a lot of times to be really useful. Old Ben with his evasion lead, since it's not Jedi specific, is just useful all around.
But I cannot recommend to someone to go. Why don't you go into Cantina and farm Old Ben? Like that something about that just sounds wrong.
What level do you have to be to get to level 4 in the Cantina?
Oh man, it's been such a long time since I've done the levels of Cantina.
They swapped all the levels.
40 something, isn't it?
Wait, hold on a second.
The mods are 52. So
52. Okay, because TFP isn't available until after you get mods.
Yeah.
So you have to make that choice between mods or a TIE Fighter Pilot.
Yeah. You're probably just going to go to Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
That's what I would say. Kylo Ren's a beast.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother going after Lando if you don't need him. I mean, until he gets a Zayt.
The only reason I'm saying Lando is because who still need the 3-star, the top level of the Scoundrel event.
Well, I have no disagreement with Lando. I think Lando is probably the best one to start off with because he has so much use around the game.
The thing with Lando, though, is like he's not that useful in Arena anymore for higher end. But lower down, when you still have only single-digit secondaries on your mods, his speed bonus is phenomenal.
Well,
most people, I recently started an alt account, and almost every single person in the top 50 had Lando lead with Boba in there. And I had opted to go with SRP instead of Lando, and for a particular build I was testing out, despite having better mods, because I couldn't beat Lando's speed early on. But once you get later on and mods are stronger for everybody, then I feel like he's fairly useless.
He is, but you still have to do a lot in the early game to even establish that point.
True.
So if your Lando can get you up into Arena, even if you're trying to get into the top 100, if your new server isn't filled with a lot of whales at the top who invested a lot and just kind of got a huge advantage, you to the top and you'll start making up a lot of the crystals. So,
we gotta remember it was less than a month ago. A bunch of us were still running Lando. Maybe 2 months ago, a bunch of us were still running Lando on our team. So, by the way, it appears as though on level 2 of Cantina,
level 2 is very low on characters.
It's really low. Level 3, it's pretty sparse. I wouldn't say there's anybody there that you need. You got to get to level 4 before you start to even come to some kind of semblance of characters that might be good, and that's the debate between TIE Fighter Pilot, Ren.
Yeah.
And I think that so you're either doing Lando way down at level 1, or you're all the way up at 4. You're doing Kylo Ren or TIE Fighter Pilot.
Kylo Ren.
If we looked at level 5, you have another Lando 1. You have a Chirpa 1 if somebody really needed to get Chirpantine done, and then you get Ayla if somebody really felt like they needed Ayla.
Which brings up a good point actually that Grande is bringing up. These levels have different costs. The difference in whether or not to do Lando at like level 1 or whether to do him at level 5. What you're really trying to decide is how much are the shards worth to you. You get a lot better other rewards from doing the higher energy cost nodes. You just get a few less shards. On what you're aiming for, especially for the double event, I would say go for the higher at Cantina energy one, since you're getting double drops of the shards anyways, and then you'll get double of the Cantina tokens, which you actually get more per energy at the higher. And then same thing with the ability mats. You get better ones as you get higher. Do you guys agree with that?
But I would disagree because to me, like I'm currently sitting on like 17,000 Cantina tokens. There's not a ton of pressing needs out of the Cantina store. There are some, depending on your arena team or what raid team you're going for. But a lot of them, I feel you can do a little bit more slowly over time, build them up. Qui-Gon Jinn for early Rancor soloing and stuff. And so going for shards specifically makes sense to me. Because like shards are the primary reason you use the Cantina, right? If you're not going for a character shard, you're doing mods instead, and you're still getting similar types of rewards.
Well, the other thing also is that level 5 and above in Cantina gives you ship credits. 4 and below do not.
It's not that noticeable.
I mean, there's not that many ship credits in general to get in the game. And if you have that many, I'm sure you could use it.
I noticed them. I mean, I noticed ship credits because I remember I was going. It sounds silly. I was going after Plo Koon's node, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome! Like credits that I wasn't getting, and it made a big difference for me.
Yeah, I can notice the difference too if I'm not doing a high level node. What about you, Smithy?
What you say? Sorry.
So, 2 nodes.
I'm reading the comments.
So if we have 2 nodes, like Lando, for example, who's on level 5 and level 1, do you recommend doing level 1 to get more shards, or do you recommend doing the level 5 where you get more of everything else but a few less shards?
What is the energy cost? Is it 10 or 12?
It's 12 on 5 and then 8 on 1.
I always did it on the lower one, but if you're doing it on 5, you're going to get ship credits as well, and all the extra stuff. You won't get ship credits on level 1. So it just depends on the player's circumstance, really. I got a lot of shards from. I used to get sometimes around about 15 Lando shards per day on the lower levels, because it was only 8 energy, I believe it was. So I just normally went for that.
What about you, Loki?
Unless you want ship credits.
Yeah, ship credits at 5 is definitely helpful. Loki, what would be your strategy? Higher or lower Cantina cost?
I mean, if you're still, let's assume. Are we assuming the player is level 85? I mean,
level 85, but let's assume just hit level 85. So still relatively new.
Okay, so I mean, at that point, the only thing I would say is I think you get higher experience if you were still leveling up to 85. But yeah, I would just get the shards wherever you can get them. I mean, I think Kylo Ren's got he's on Cantina 4 and is it 6 with B2 as well. So yeah, I agree with everybody in terms of just farm the shards you got to get, but I would just get them wherever you can get them. I don't think I don't see a huge difference between the higher and the lower levels.
All right. Ranger, are you still mad at us?
No, I'm just trying to concentrate. I'm doing some more
he's in
ship
another battle.
That's right.
He's doing Galactic War now.
No, he's doing ship battle.
I did.
Oh, he did.
I just did Galactic War. Now I'm doing another ship battle.
Okay. So we can watch this and then we can do the meta report.
Do you want to do the meta report?
Am I allowed to comment, or am I not?
No, you're not allowed to comment.
Do it.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Everybody else says yes. Ranger says no.
No, you may not. Talk amongst yourselves.
We're watching this. It's something.
Mm-hmm. Glad I'm
I'm
so
curious why
entertaining.
you AOE.
No, your damn
Oh,
business. See, I did that on purpose because I knew he was going to say something. I did that on
Why wouldn't you get rid
purpose.
of the target lock on your
Poor
on
Mage
your
Ducky. He can't help himself, Ranger.
I know. That's why I did it.
I try very hard not to say something, but then it just like jumps out of my mouth without me even thinking about it, and I say something.
Well, that's called having mental issues. I don't know.
I mean, oh, whatever.
You're tormenting him.
Hmm.
He's trying to do everything he can right now not to say anything.
This is my revenge. This is my revenge.
Hey, so they actually said better off hitting auto and closing your eyes in the chat.
John, you lie. You are so wrong.
Let's talk about this, Ranger. Can you tell us about
Wait, you're saying he's wrong, Mage Ducky, but it seems like you're about to explode with comments if Ranger let you.
I'm going to explode with what?
Comments.
I am, but that's not to say that
he's not doing a terrible job.
Well, and no, he's not doing a terrible job. And
this was why Ranger was quiet. He was researching
what to do.
No, not really.
See, I think no. He in the past he's done decently,
and he's gonna win the battle.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, if you're gonna win, then the only thing is you might not be able to beat fleet higher up fleets that you could if you were making slightly more strategic moves. But I don't know. Ranger seems satisfied with where he is at in Fleet Arena, so go for it.
All right, I'm done. I won. So let's go to the
right,
meta report.
Swagaga.
Swagaga.
Swagaga made a bunch of updates.
It did?
Yes. So one of them is they used to say they were going to do no ads except once you were logged in. They changed to where now they put ads up all the time, whether you're logged in or not.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, I just had to move the screen.
So that's one of the ones that's there. The other one is they added new characters, right? So they added both Gar Saxon and they added the Imperial Super Commando.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which we'll be talking about soon.
Yeah.
Those are new characters. The other one that's very interesting to me is that if you click on yourself and then you click on me? If you click on yourself and then you click on guilds, it now at the top, it now shows your guild's rank. It shows your raid points. It shows your average arena rank inside your guild, and then it shows your average collection score.
Depends on your guild.
Where does it show that?
Okay, just if you go to yourself.
Yeah, I'm on my profile.
And then go to your guild. Click on your guild.
Right now, it's
loading. Oh, there.
Okay. And then if you click on your own guild, it will actually show you where your guild ranks on the leaderboard, how many points you have, your average arena rank for your guild, and your average collection score.
I see that.
Now, what's interesting about this is if you go to
the guild
leaderboard now, it starts out by, first of all, now it has your little insignia, right? Whichever insignia your guild chose as its insignia, it shows that up there. Then it also shows you top arena rank. So it shows you which guild has the top arena rank, right? And then after that, if you go to collection score, it'll actually tell you which guilds have the top collection score. Which to me is interesting that they've made that change. There you go.
All right, well, check that out, guys. So let's
see things a little bit differently than you did before.
So let's go to.
It's cool that they're making changes. Meta report day.
And the meta report is all new too. There's a shift all over the place. Number 1, number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meta report is a little bit different as far as how you can see things now for squads. I mean, they've made a lot of good changes here.
I mean, number 1 this week in the meta is Darth Maul. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's
It's in.
it's gone
But
so
what's
wrecked and
interesting,
so
yes, but that's the thing is more people are running
and
Rex counters
and,
now.
and
Big
look at all
big
these
jump from last
look at
week.
all these little bitty slivers of everything
Right.
else, right? I mean, now of
What
course we're looking at rank one leaders, right? So
Right.
we're looking at just rank one. It does shift a little bit if it does shift quite a bit if you go to top 10, and it also shifts quite a bit go to top 100, and it shifts even more.
Mm.
We typically talk about just rank one, but if you had somebody who was struggling to get into the top 100,
still seeing a lot of wedge out there.
there's a lot of wedge out there, a lot more than
Darth Maul, Wedge, yeah.
you would be surprised on. Now, then if you go if you look at the squads, right, for top 100, you'll see a huge difference in what people are running. A bunch of Zeta Vaders,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then if you go to top 10, that's where you start getting more of the
You get a top 10.
balls, right? But you top 10, hanging on, right? You still have a Qui-Gon Jinn lead, and you still have a Wedge lead that's hanging on.
You still have droids as 6% of the population.
Even in top 10, even in
No, sorry, no, that was top
100,
Sorry,
right?
I didn't realize you had switched back.
Yeah, and then if you click all the way over to rank one, then that's where you get this Rexes pretty much and Mauls pretty much, right? So it's we tend to focus just on rank one, but sometimes it's good to focus on other stuff than just rank one.
So what is the data telling you there, Mr. Grande?
It's saying that below rank one there are a lot of different choices, and at rank one there are basically two choices for leader.
Right.
But then once you get into the squad, it gets a little bit more balanced. Not a lot more balanced. You're seeing a ton of Darth Nihilus. That's and of course most people are either on their way to farming him up, or they've got him geared up and not leveled up, or they've got him leveled up and not geared up, whatever. But they're not running a fully maxed Darth Nihilus normally. Like not as Zoe Faye would say, it's not max titties, right?
Oh
Yet.
Lord, why
There's a
did you
few.
bring?
It's not that. So,
That didn't just happen. Continue.
So I'd like to
we
say,
love Zoe.
I find it interesting for in the all characters category, Nihilus is a huge portion relative of the top 1 and the top 10.
yes.
But then when you switch over to top 100, he drops off pretty hard.
Right. So
Comparatively.
that's probably because they don't have a lot of gear, right?
Yeah, they don't have access to.
They don't
whereas
have access to
Palpatine's
the
been
higher.
around.
Yeah, whereas Palpatine's been around a long time, Vader's been around a long time, Boba, Wedge, and Big. So you look at top 100, Palpatine is it, Vader is it, and then Boba. So I would say they're probably about a month behind on meta. Is kind of what it looks like. Then if you look at top 10, just on characters, you top 10 and top 1 are really similar, right? I mean, they, you're not seeing Wedge and Biggs at all in the top 10 on characters. You're seeing much more characters that are either new or been reworked, or not been here. You're seeing a lot of Palpatine. But you go to, rank one leaders, and you see Palpatine and you see Kenobi take his spot. So I think it's interesting, right? There's a lot of stuff going on here. I've seen a lot of people talk about potentially seeing Nihilus maybe come up as a leader, and that people are just annihilate. Actually, going to try to run some kind of a Nihilus lead later, right? I'm not, like I said, I'm not exactly sure.
Not if Death Trooper has something to say about that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the meta report speaks for itself, really.
I do too. I think for a large portion of it, it speaks for itself, and it can't for itself, right? So, yeah.
All right. Anybody want to comment? Smithies, Loki, anybody else? Okay.
No, I'm good.
All right. So that's the meta report brought to you by Ranger Spaceship Fighting School. If you want to fight and have Mage Ducky in your ear the whole time, then come join our school.
Rangers Flying School.
Um, um,
Ranger is not only the owner, he's also never attended it. So yeah.
That's right.
I'd just like to say that
If it
I'm
has
not
anything
sure
to
if
do
I
with
want
ships, I will punch you in your face.
simply going to say to the viewers that if you go to Ranger's school, I'm not going to be teaching there because he won't let me. So, don't go.
Well, now why would
Well,
not?
there goes the end of that school.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'll find someone else. You're not the only ship spectacular person around, Mr. Mage Ducky, Mr. Man.
No,
Sure,
I know
have
I'm
all
not.
the-
I've never once claimed that I am.
Well, we have.
Hey, your pilot is
We have-
Ranger J 1999.
We have about.
Oh,
It's
all right.
we're in the
We gotta
vacuum
talk
of
That's gonna be on.
space.
That's
It's
gonna be on
about-
what, Friday nights?
It's
Ranger
about
J
negative
1999 spectacular ships.
240,000 degrees below zero outside. You will die if you go out. We're cruising at about no feet because we're in the middle of space. My co-pilot's Mage Ducky, so if I mess up, he will be there to yell at me
Yell at
over
you.
the mic. So we'd like to thank you.
I feel like I should be like K2SO and just be, not me. I can survive in the cold vacuum of space.
See?
You-
So,
it's gonna be like
we're gonna,
And everything's going all nice,
Yeah.
Rangers flying all his passengers, and then the Imperial attack, and Ranger doesn't know what to
hold on. My
I know,
programming
I'm like-
knows exactly.
I know, I'm flying. I've been doing great. All of a sudden, Mage is like, "Here, I would like you to use this new controller." Wait, I've never seen that controller before. Oh, it'll be fine. Just here, use it. Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm not the one who said to use Kylo Ren's shuttle. I was silent for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait.
silence speaks
He's
more
like-
volumes than the potato head telling me to use it.
I enjoyed your battle, by the way.
Yeah, I blame Smith.
He's
It
thinking in
really-
the background.
It really got to. It made me feel like I got to see the true shuttle. I enjoyed it, Ranger.
Even though I had no idea what I was doing.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right.
The same as when you opened a pack.
Oh God, that was a lot easier to deal with in the pack. Let me tell you, because when you open that
We're gonna
pack,
talk. We're gonna talk about Ghost and Phantom.
We can. Let's
No.
talk about them.
What?
No. Oh, we're gonna save that for the ship
Let's
spectacular show.
talk about that.
Well, Finn,
Okay.
what would you
Dude,
like-
it comes
you-
up in like a couple of hours.
Okay, so we have some events coming up.
I'll tell you what. It's coming up. Here you go. What do you think you're gonna have to do to compete? That's my first thought. Is
I don't know.
how high up are these guys gonna have to be? I mean, I got them relatively high geared, but they're not.
I don't even have them
OP,
geared
OP.
or anything. I mean, it says
And
level
the-
30.
Well,
so, I mean,
good thing you have 12 million credits because you're probably gonna blow through all of it.
no, I'm not. Not for that.
Well, and part of the thing is like it's only 2 days to gear them up. So somebody who's
I'm
free to
not
play
wasting
like
gear.
me, I haven't spent gear on them because I'm not going to use them in arena or anywhere anytime soon. But if the thing comes up and it's like, hey, I really want the ship, and this event is going to require a decent investment, then I only have 2 days to gear them up, and that might not be enough time with
Yeah.
refresh caps and soft cap there.
Yeah. We'll see. I
So
mean,
that's definitely going to be something that's going to require wait for the event to open, see just how much it's going to take, and then decide if it's worth it.
yeah, and we'll discuss
invest.
that. I think probably on the Sunday stream. What we thought about it with the ships. We'll get into detail on the ships on the Sunday stream. I think that'd be a more appropriate place to really look at the event, talk about it, talk about the ships. There.
My main thought is that it could be super simple, right?
Yeah.
And it could be where it sucks real bad.
Mm.
So with the smart play would be to save the gear, save the credits, and then decide once you're in the event whether or not to spend them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
That would be my recommendation for most people. That way you're not putting it into stuff that you don't need. But you have flexibility.
Yeah. I
Right?
agree.
Okay.
All right. So Finn, what's the next topic, my friend?
Well, we have more to talk about with regards to that,
Oh,
We
well,
do.
go ahead.
but we have to talk about the ships themselves a little.
Do.
We don't need to get into full details before Sunday, but
Can I just
looking
It
at
seems
the
like-
abilities, do you think we're discussing the difficulty of it? Based on their previous history with these events, it seems like you would be able to complete all of the tiers and get the unlock, maybe a little bit extra. So, do you think it's worthwhile to invest for these ships in particular?
Yeah, general
It has a target.
thoughts,
It has a
real quick. Ducky, if I don't know if you had a chance to really break these ships down. We don't want a full breakdown, but just real quick, should
Um,
people are these ships worth going for?
the ships are very powerful. They have a lot of potential. Um, if you are going to be building a Phoenix squad for Arena or a raid somewhere or Galactic War something, then definitely worth the investment. The, Despite being very strong, the only problem is that they require 6 characters
Yeah,
geared up to be relevant
right.
because crew contribution rating contributes so much to the stats that it's goes far beyond the investment of completing the event, getting like gear 6 or 8 or whatever little bit is needed just to beat the event. It's taking the characters to 7 star and gear 9, 10, 11, depending on where your fleet shard is at. So they're definitely very powerful ships, but they're very investment expensive ships.
mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind when you're considering whether or not to
They also
dive
won't,
in chasing after them.
they also won't work with every fleet commander. Let's just be honest, right? I mean, they look like they're going to work great potentially under Akbar lead. They look like they potentially would be okay under Mace. I don't see anybody throwing them under Tarkin lead.
Um,
You disagree with that? Or you just
Potential
don't
for
know?
an AoE, another AoE ability block. That would be a third one. Boba, Tarkin, and then attack all angles. Not really under Tarkin, no, but that's mostly because we primarily use Tarkin right now for a target lock team. So
Right.
that's not to say that Tarkin's general fleet couldn't evolve itself.
Right.
But yes, definitely strongest under Akbar because of all of the assist style stuff going on with it, and the stealthing and the synergy with like the U wings and everything. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but most people run Akbar right now, so that we're not a problem in that regard.
Okay, so
Quick thing though, Mage. Right now, Ghost and Phantom don't have any plan for being available as free to play or accessible anywhere outside of the event. So, do you think that they're going to be usable even at 3 stars? Let's say if that's what they're unlocked at.
Phantom is 2 star. Nope, they're both 2 star ships.
2 star. Okay.
Unlock. So I'm imagining we'll probably get 3 star partway to 4 star. That's been the theme of recent events. Again, probably not, depending on your shard. If your fleet shard has 5 star ships as the primary max, that's the most what you really having to fight. They would be relevant for a little while. If you're in a fleet shard with 6, 7 star ships, it's going to be very difficult to make them relevant. You're going to have to invest very heavily in the character shards, which we can only get through pay-to-play options right now, through packs, and in their gear. So they're very powerful. I don't think that free-to-play can get them at a viable level right now.
Okay. And then we have even more new stuff.
So the 2 new characters and theory crafting, right?
Mm-hmm. So we have Gar Saxon. So we remember from the last update that they put out before this one that it obviously hinted at more Empire characters. So we're starting to see some of them. The first one is a named one. Another one's a little more generic. So the named one is Gar Saxon. Ranger, do you want to give a little bit of background on Gar Saxon?
Yeah, he's the character from the Clone Wars, or not Clone Wars, mainly Rebels. He is a part of the Mandalorians. He runs a clan that is the enemy of. I can't think of her name now.
Sabine Wren.
The
Sabine
Ren
Wren?
clan. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
And basically, if you haven't seen the show, spoiler, Spoiler. He does die by Sabine's hand, and but he is the leader of that faction and is on the side of the Empire. So they've
Spoiler,
introduced.
not spoiler. He doesn't die by Sabine's hand, but that's okay.
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
You're wrong.
Um,
Okay.
but yeah.
Breaking news: Saxon dies.
So I did the whole
That's
Kermit the
Mace
Frog
Junkie
thing.
breaking news. It's okay.
Yeah.
Breaking
It
news.
wasn't
Yeah.
by Sabine. It wasn't by Sabine's hand.
It was not. Okay, so you want to talk about his abilities a little bit?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So his basic ability is on the hunt, deals physical damage to target enemy with a 70% chance to inflict speed down for 2 turns. The target already has speed down, reduces Saxton's cooldown ability by 1. So the first thing that I think about with this ability is, ooh, he'd be really sweet on like a speed down team already, or like AOE speed down team, maybe as like a mixed team. So pretty cool about his first ability, and reducing cooldowns is always nice. Calculated ambush. Deal physical damage to all enemies, dealing double damage to enemies that have less than 50% turn meter. Enemies that have at least 50% turn meter lose 30% turn meter. This is on a 5-turn cooldown. So we have AOE turn meter reduction, or if they're about to go, they lose turn meter.
Mm-hmm.
That looks super cool. His tags also are Dark Side, Empire, and Tank, but this is now the 4th Mandalorian that we have or the 3rd Mandalorian that we have in the game. I would love to see a Mandalorian tag, but who knows when that's going to happen. His leader ability is Mandalorian Retaliation, which is Empire allies gain 50% counter chance and 40% defense. Whenever an Empire ally uses a basic attack, they recover 5% health. Now that's on Zeta. Non-Zeta, it is they lose the ability to recover the 5% health. So it's basically 50% counter chance and 40% defense.
Pretty nice still.
That's a pretty nice ability in itself, right? I mean, we have some characters, their leader ability is 40% defense to synergize.
Mm-hmm.
So he got counter chance and leader ability, which was super sweet. And then his last one is Viceroy's Vengeance. Sorry, Vengeance. Whenever another ally attacks during an enemy's turn, Gar Saxon has 100% chance to assist. So basically, he's really good on some kind of a counter team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so good on a counter team, has a slow, has turn meter reduction, and has a counter. And if you Zeta'd him, he'd have the ability to have health recovery.
Yep.
I mean, slow and turn meter in one character is already pretty sweet. And now you add in counter chance, that's also pretty sweet. His base speed is slow at 127. It's not the slowest, but it's also not the best. He has a decent amount. I mean, he has an okay amount of health and an okay amount of protection. He is classified as a tank with around 22k in health and almost 23k in protection, and he has 15% health steal. If you looked on his potency is not terrible, but not that great at 29%. His armor penetration is decent at 97. So overall, I think he's a well-rounded, good character, especially if you're running some version of an Empire team.
But he dies to Zeta Maul because Maul's just going to land daze, and then the counter chance from his leader ability, the assist chance on his unique are gone.
That's why you need a Rex.
For 2 turns or whatever it is.
So, I mean, you're right. Against a team that does an AOE daze, you're going to need to do something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're going to need to get him speedy so that doesn't happen. I mean,
I guess my thing is just like I want to look at him in terms of how is he going to handle what we have to deal with right now.
So there's an online question here, which is we don't know what his ship looks like, right?
No.
So so potentially that might change things if we knew what his ship looked like, and potentially what you're saying is that if you were to run him in arena at 7-star, you'd have to run him with like a double, triple cleanse maybe in order to keep him countering all the time. Maybe a double cleanse, right? Or a slower cleanse.
Which may be the team you're putting him in anyways. The first thing that I think of with this character is team him up with like Kenobi and 5s and then stick like a Chase behind him. You'd be just popping off every single turn, and he'd be doing his AoE almost as much as Lando, because you'd get call to assist on
and if you had
base, call to assist with 5s.
And if you had 5s already he's putting the slow on
Exactly.
as well,
So he's putting the slow, and you're guaranteeing the reduction of the cooldown and just firing off AoEs.
You could also put him under a Zeta Phasma lead, right? With the extra counter chance and already slow. So then now you've put a turn meter reducer counter guy on a first order team, and first order has a problem with turn meter reduction already because they've only got one turn meter reducer, and now you have an AoE turn meter reducer. There's a lot that could. I mean, there are ways around. I mean, you make a good point, Mace Ducky, but I think there's ways to compensate for that particular deficiency. But I think we do need to recognize that it is a deficiency.
At least in his leader ability. I guess I don't see his leader ability doing anything in the current meta. His unique.
No. I don't see him as a leader.
No, I don't see him as a leader either.
With Kenobi and Chirrut, you have Dispellers to kind of cover him. You have speed down with 5s. I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now as maybe the squad for him. Like a Kenobi 5s, Gar, and then Chase. It was the first thought that came to mind, because you have the double Dispel, you have the counter attack with Baze, you have the set counter attack with 5s with the speed down, and he would always be assisting 5s if he's counterattacking, and then you're guaranteeing almost the slow. It just seems like that would be the way to go.
Okay. Smithy, Loki, any thoughts?
No, I'm good, man.
All right. Smithy's doing Galactic War, sounds like. All right. Let's move to the next character then.
We have
the next character is the let me jump over here to him. He's the Imperial Super Commando, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's dark side Imperial attacker, and he's classified as an attacker, and he's slower than Gar Saxon at 121. So seize the advantage, deal physical damage to the target enemy with a 70% chance to inflict offense down for 2 turns, and attack again if the target has less than 50% turn meter. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Superior tactics, which is deal physical damage to the target enemy, dispel all debuff on them, and inflict buff immunity for 2 turns.
That's really nice.
That is on a 2-turn cooldown.
That's really nice.
Oh, so that's every other turn.
And now it's on a 2-turn cooldown with an Omega. It's on a 3-turn cooldown without an Omega.
Definitely worth it.
So then upper hand, which is Imperial Super Commando, has a 65% counter chance and gains 15% offense for each enemy with no debuffs. 15% offense for each enemy with no debuffs, which means if they cleanse them, if they with no buffs. So if they cleanse,
you have to be dispelling.
If you dispelled if you had like AoE dispel B2, right? Then potentially this dude's gonna whack like crap on the next turn, which could be pretty sick.
Yeah, because that's 30, 60, 75% more offense if there's no one with a buff.
Right. So potentially what I see this guy with B2.
Yeah.
A lot. I don't know who you put else on the team.
Loki, who would you run with this guy?
I like the idea of B2. I mean, I'd run him with Death Trooper. I'd run him with
Mm.
I'd probably run him under a Zader lead. Honestly, I mean his basic is a 70% chance to inflict offense down, and then he attacks again. If the target had less than 50% turn meter, so then Zader's going to keep doing turn meter reduction. He'll get that chance to do it.
Twice, right? Because they count as two separate attacks.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's got a counter chance, which is cool. He'll get 30% offense from Zader lead, and then he'll get 75% offense from himself.
Good
so.
lord.
And then offense down for 2 turns against somebody like Maul.
Yeah.
Could be really helpful.
Yeah, well, it would negate, the offense up on Savage. It would try to slow down Maul's offense bonuses that he gets as people die.
He has a good amount of health and protection. He actually, classified as an attacker, has more base health and more base protection than Gar Saxon we just talked about. He has around 24k health and a little over 23k protection. His potency is better at 34% base. His armor penetration kind of blows at 41, but it's not the worst thing. And then for armor, he's 267. So he's okay.
He's decent.
But
his abilities are pretty nice.
He's not. I see these as being fairly decent characters. Both of them. I mean, I'd put.
I'll throw this out there. I'm thinking about a Krennic lead with him.
I think it's. Oh, interesting.
So if you do like a Krennic lead with the TIE Fighter pilot, the Commando B2, and Death Trooper. Turn 1, you'd be going with TIE Fighter pilot, who's faster than all of them. You have the Krennic lead, so he'd be putting not only buff immunity, but then ability block. You don't have to worry too much about the turn meter then.
Oh, and then no buffs, too.
And then no buffs. So Commando's getting that 75% right off the bat.
So then you're definitely doing TIE Fighter with Imperial.
But then, like, if that's your plan, I guess going back to the whole current meta thing, Zeta Maul, if you happen to get your TIE Fighter pilot faster than their Maul, which you wouldn't, they'd all be stealthed. You couldn't critically hit them, and they only get ability blocked when they're critically hit.
Right, so you'd load them up with crit mods. The whole build would be based around crit, so you'd have to build up your crit.
But you don't want to crit a Zeta Maul team.
Why?
Because
if you're
then
doing buff immunity, not if you're doing buff immunity with turn 1 TIE Fighter pilot, you can crit all you want. Buff immunity is going to prevent stealth.
So I know we keep going up against Mauls. How does this work? How does it work against a Rex lead, right? So
all the crits would be bad.
So I think that we need to. So if we forget about Maul teams for a minute, and we look at a Rex, like a Rex Nihilus, like what? In fact, we even saw that in the meta report, right? When we went to the meta report and we looked at it for rank 1 leaders, the number 1 team was a Rex team, right? It was Rex, GK, Chirrut, Baze, and Nihilus. That's the team that's run by 31% of rank 1 leaders. So the next team is only 10% of rank 1 leaders, which is Maul, Savage Opress, Emperor Palpatine, Nihilus, and Sith Assassin. And the next one is Maul, Savage Opress, Nihilus, Sith Trooper, and Sith Assassin. So we need to look at this team versus probably those top 3 teams, realizing that you have to combine rank 1 squads 2, 3, and 4, and you still don't get to as many people as are running Rex, GK, Chirrut, Baze, and Nihilus. More people are running that than the next 4 leaders. So while Maul is a thing, Maul is not the only thing.
True. Having lots of AoE crits is going to greatly speed up a Rex lead, and all of the ability block that you apply with TIE Fighter pilot, they'll fire basics, but then they'll clear it off, right? Because they'll have activated.
And I think we definitely need to realize that we need a dispeller because they have Chirrut and Baze. So you're gonna have to run, and you've got buffs out the yin yang with Chirrut, and you got buffs out the yin yang with Baze. I mean, not with Baze, with GK and with Rex, and you still need a one shotter for Nihilus. So I think Mace Ducky's making a really, really good point here, which is,
oh my God, he is.
How do you breaking
oh
news?
Oh my God, it's breaking
right?
news.
No, but he's making a really good point, which is, hey, this doesn't work out real great against Maul, and it doesn't work out real great against Rex. So how do you slot one of these two characters in and take something out of one of those teams?
I can see Gar and or the commando working, but like potentially, assuming you can cleanse the days off of them so they can counter, working against them. I don't see Krennic working as the leader for Gar and commando.
And Knights Templar, big shout out. He has worked really hard to make Krennic Death Trooper work, and he's told me multiple times, he's like, it should work, but it just don't hold, man. So he's tried that. I mean, he has it 7-starred and like maxed Zoe Fade. And it still doesn't work. He says, so he's like, I have to go do something else, because that's not working for me. So I think that we need to be careful about telling people, hey, go all in on Krennic lead.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not saying that at all. I would just
because that'll be the saving grace of the deal. Because I don't think it's going to work. I want it to work, but it's not going to.
It's sad, but true.
I mean, I would love to see Krennic work. I'd love to see Death Trooper all over the place, man. I mean, Death Trooper. We finally get a Stormtrooper who's not Stormtrooper Gary for once, and
who can actually hit a target.
Yeah, and I'm like, why don't they act? I mean, that character should act so OP, but he doesn't. For whatever it's worth.
I don't know. I mean, he's powerful. Like, I know Sir Loki uses him effectively against a bunch of Zal teams under his Zader.
So Loki, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
You playing GW2?
We're talking over one another, so I can't.
No, you're good. We're basically talking about how do you run Death Trooper, and could under a Vader lead one of these two new characters slot into that team?
So I was looking at Gar Saxon. I mean, I like the dude. I think he looks cool. He looks like Dolph Lundgren from Rocky, man. I think he looks awesome. He looks like Ivan Drago. I mean, this guy looks awesome. So I agree with yeah, dude, he's fucking awesome. I'm sorry for that. No, but his leader is, I'm kind of on the fence about his leadership ability. I like his AoE because, again, if you got him under Zader lead, I mean, that's 60% turn meter, right? You can reduce. I think that's awesome. If it hits, but I was actually thinking of running him, kind of slotting him, because I'm starting to use Dooku a lot again. So I'm doing a lot of I'm doing Nihilus lead again with Dooku, and he'd be kind of cool with like Dooku, because Dooku's gonna counterattack like crazy. I mean, I got videos of him going off like 6 hits, and this guy's gonna keep going. So the super commando, I think I'm more excited about, actually, after our little discussion.
Offense down,
but
is that the big reason?
Offense down, and then I like the he looks cool. I mean, it's he's a tanky like attacker, right? I don't think we have anybody like that, but I think you guys are right.
Kylo Ren is a tanky attacker. I agree.
I will say something though. Going back to the meta report, I'm actually surprised I don't see a lot of Kylo Ren up there. Honestly, that's just me when I was looking at it. I mean, if he's that great, then how come more people aren't using him?
I mean,
because he's a secret.
Because he. Well, first of all, I don't think a lot of people worked on him a whole bunch.
I did.
Right? I mean, and he's not the easiest character in the world to gear up, right? Kylo Ren is not super easy. And then Kylo Ren on defense
Carlo Run.
doesn't work the same way as Kylo Ren on offense.
He is in the top 10 though.
He is in the top 10.
Yeah, he's number 9. He's with a lot of the other and the meta report kind of those plug and play characters. He's right there with Boba Fett. It's more just because I think of the theme. So you have Chirrut and Baze. If they're in, they're going to be in together, so they take up the spot. You have Rex always countering Maul. Nihilus is pretty much in all of the teams. He's pretty much like the universal plug and play. Same thing with Kenobi. I mean, he might be a little bit lower, but I think considering who's ahead of him, I think he's in a reasonable spot at like number 9 in the top 10 for rank 1 all characters.
Right. I don't know. I would have thought he would have been higher because he is an older character. So I mean, a lot of people have him, and I do agree he's harder to gear up, but he is an old character, so it's kind of like Rex too, right?
Not many people farmed him though, did they? Because how bad he was.
Not many people farmed him. He was pretty tough, man.
Oh yeah, I 7-starred him. I thought he was going to be good. You know, when I first played the game, first it was like Chewie. I was just like, oh, you know, just like, yeah, got Chewie. Then it was just like, oh, Stormtrooper Han's better than him. But I've just 7-starred my Chewie. Then I was just like, okay, I'll go after Kylo Ren. And then I went after Kylo Ren, and I was just like, oh, Kylo Ren's really not that good. Maybe I'll go after Wiggs. I think it was old Ben actually after that. It was like, oh, it doesn't work. Old Ben.
Right. But you know, going back to Gar Saxon and his leadership ability, the issue I have also is you know, health immunity has gotten pretty popular. So even if they recover 5% health on their basic, it's not a lot. You know, it's not like Kylo Ren where he gains back the damage he deals. I mean, we can go back to talking about percentages and raw numbers, you know, but 5% is nothing to me. Looking at this, you know, we don't see a lot of I'm a Gundy leads, even though he has like a counter chance thing. So I really don't even see his counter chance really working well. So, you know, the Empire, you really don't have a lot of leaders other than Zader, honestly.
I agree. Zader's the king of leaders for Empire. And the fact that he works with Sith and Empire.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what makes it so much better, right? Is that it's Sith and Empire. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, looking at just off top of my head, I'd probably run, you know, like Zader. I'd run Gar with Dooku, and then maybe slide in Death Trooper and then maybe GK and try it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're in relative agreement that his leader ability is pretty underwhelming, but he fits into, I think, a lot of squads really well, since only his leader ability is Empire based. Everything else is just ally and enemies. So he can be put into different squads, I think, pretty well.
Yeah. I do like Death Trooper versus Chase, though. I think that's the most awesome thing you can catch on video. Seeing that guy double tap and he, you know, he dazes one and then he stuns the other, right? It's just awesome. So, and then, you know, if you can get retribution on your whole team, then hit. So.
Okay. I think that's all the topics, right? Or what's next, Finn?
No, we have something else.
That's right.
We do have something else. The last statement.
What a show! What a show!
So the last statement is, the Empire goes on the offensive, veering.
I saw that too.
their forces for a second pass, and then it says, beep beep bop. Beep.
Boop, boop, beep, beep, boop.
Sounds like Finn on a Saturday night.
Boop, beep, beep.
Beep, boop, boop, boop.
So my thought is,
he's a scat man.
Is that it's pretty. So I think the word veering is important.
Yes,
they're talking about
and
yes, veering is definitely an indication about Snowtrooper.
I think it means that we're getting a second. I think that means that we're potentially getting a second Empire pass, which is very interesting to me.
They like the dark side, don't they?
They should.
They have like well,
We have punch
they
and
should
cookies.
like the dark side. I mean, I mean, they have to get us enough dark side characters to where you have dark side. You can have dark side, light side, and actually have it make sense.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of okay.
It's like what first order, Sith. Now
Fifth.
Does it? You know, it might have to do with the fact that maybe the new movie has more to do with dark side. Maybe it has to do with the fact that you have a lot of other games that are looking at a potential dark side, theme, like for example the new Battlefront 2 trailer that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it may have to do a lot with some of that stuff.
But I mean, they've done it every other month, though, haven't they? Because Sith was February.
Mm-hmm.
Then we just got done with Rebels, and then we're heading into Empire. But we're like, I don't think it's that they care more about dark side so much as it is they're getting more diversity on the dark side reworks than they are on the light side. Because light side is just rebels.
I mean, at one point we had like 20 something rebels, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
When do you think Jedi Luke's coming?
He asked his own question, man. That's awesome.
26 rebel characters.
And if they put Jedi Luke in it, it'd be 27.
Yep.
He'd have to
that's
be
if they classify
It's gonna be
him as a rebel.
It's gonna be Resistance Jedi. That's Jedi.
Resistance
Right
Jedi right there, right?
No.
Him and his daughter. Him and his daughter. Oh my
He'd
god!
return the Jedi. I'd even settle for Bespin. He'd be just a rebel. I don't think he'd even be a Jedi, would he? Like Vader said, "You are not a Jedi yet."
However, he also says that he's not a Jedi in Episode 6. Vader tells him that.
No.
Oh, sorry, not Vader.
Yoda.
Yoda tells him that.
Vader.
So Yoda says
You must confront
you're not
Vader.
a Jedi until after you confront Vader. So he's not a Jedi until after he's like flying out of the Death Star. The majority of what you see him as is not Jedi.
Technically, that's what Yoda said, but that was just so he fights Vader, isn't it? That was the whole plan. That he had to push
But
him
he was told he wasn't a Jedi in Episode 5 because he wasn't powerful enough yet by Vader. So we're going to trust Vader and not Yoda.
Grim does a hashtag, make Magna Trooper great again. That was his hashtag.
Yeah, but Return of the Jedi Luke covers all of the...
I like what you did.
You know, so he's wearing the same clothes when he burns Vader. Spoiler alert, by the way, in case you haven't seen that. So
Spoiler alert from 1986.
Well, there's actually some people that haven't seen it, but you know, I'm happy to say Jedi Luke is just the entire Return of the Jedi Luke. So yeah, and he was more Jedi than he was anything else and Rebel. So I'm happy for him to get a Jedi and Rebel tag. Even at the start of the movie, he had a lightsaber. You know, he used Force powers. He beat Jabba.
Just make him a separate.
Okay, but he did that in Episode 5. He had a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I think Leia killed Jabba, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, Leia's the one that killed Jabba.
Yeah. Luke didn't do nothing, man. I mean, I hate to say it.
Yeah, he just wiped out the entire Force.
So a blind guy who just got out of Carbonite and knocked Boba Fett into the Sarlacc pit with an oar.
I think Skiffguard Lando did more than Luke.
Skiffguard Lando. New Rebel coming in.
Hey,
I mean, Rebel Luke did more. I mean, he blew up the Death Star, right? So
okay, so we think we're probably going to get a second pass on reworks on Empire.
Yes, specifically Veer.
Specifically General Veers, right? Makes sense. Okay, now we've got beep, beep, bop, beep.
R2D2 is my guess.
That is R2D2, or it ships hardware.
I don't believe it ships hardware, personally.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going R2D2. Because they introduced him in that event for Chopper also, so I think they're getting ready to...
They're finally ready to give us
That's my
Our
guess.
what? Second light side droid.
Well, so last celebration they showed him in the video, and then this
They also
celebration they
showed
actually
they also showed Wicket too.
No, they showed a skin of Chief Chirpa.
it was all Chirpa except for the name.
What
was
was you
all-
saying before, Finn, about that they're going to go there when Warwick Davis is going to be at the celebration?
Those poor
That's
guys.
where Wicket is.
He'd be like, "Where's you want to see an angry man get mad? It's a year later and he's still not in the game."
I thought
He
you
was
guys
more
said
angry
I
that
was
his skin was
the
put on
end.
Chief Chirpa.
Why won't you guys let me in? He's gonna be like a Corky trying to get over a doggy
I
gate.
don't understand. You all said
Oh,
I
man.
would be in the game.
Not there yet. Don't make me get all Warwick on you. Oh man.
And he's then watched Willow.
I'd like to share my story. All right.
Oh my gosh. 1983. Okay, so
Return of
are we
the
done? I think we're ready for questions, right?
Yes.
Let's scroll all the
I
way
have
back
some
up.
already stored up.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure
You,
Finn's
you
got
do?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've got them stored up, you want to start hitting them, then let's hit
So
them.
Ranger, the first one is not Star Wars related, but it is for you.
Oh, those are the best ones. I can't wait.
So true or false? You get more than 5 dips out of a can.
False.
How many do you get?
I'd
3
say
and a
about
half.
5.
I get way more than that, dude. I could probably have a can last a week, which means I probably get 20 dips out of a can.
Yeah.
So that was from good old Maurice. And
Thank you, G.
so, next one is from Captain Blackbeard. So what would be your strategy if you're going for Krennic to farm him out of Shard Shop?
Oh.
Would you at all, I guess?
I wouldn't do
The
it.
first question.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't do it.
What's for Krennic?
I mean, one of my good friends farmed Grievous, and it literally, like, he should have a collection score, and he should have like 20 more 7 stars, but because he went Grievous for like 3 months, he's lacking on so many characters. So I think it's a huge detriment to your team, and to your flexibility to basically go Krennic Trooper out of the Shard Shop before I go Krennic. That's just me.
Yeah, and plus they
No,
need
I would agree
Zetas
with
as
that.
well. You're going to need to put the Zeta on Krennic. Is it Krennic? Yeah, he has 2 Zetas, doesn't he?
He has a Zeta lead ability, if I remember correctly. Let me double check, but I think that was it.
Yeah, then Death Trooper's got the other Zeta.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
yeah. Death Trooper has another one, but Krennic just has the lead
Oh
Zeta.
man, yeah.
Yeah. So the next question, we answered this a little bit, but we have Grande now. I don't know if actually, yeah, you were here, so we can just repeat this. So Knights Templar is asking, what gear do you feel will be needed for the Phoenix ship event?
Guess you'll find out in a few hours.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Surprise, bitches!
I mean, I've been planning right now to get them just purple, so gear 7 and level 60. That's my original goal on trying to figure out what I would do with the rebels and then slowly work from them up from there, because the price to level up gets much higher after 60. And we just had the credit heist today, so I basically just saved that. What do the rest of you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I have mine level 6 or level 7, and all level 60, and then I'm gonna put their abilities at like 5 or 6 or whatever the max is I can, and then I'm gonna overcompensate them with mods and see what I can do. That's my plan.
Grande?
It's a very similar plan. Just see how far I can get with how they are right now, and then if I have to put some abilities on, I don't have any mods on them either. You know, I have them at level 65. I'd probably, if I stuck my OP mods on them, it'd probably go a long way.
Yeah, I think so too. Go for it.
So let's change the context a little bit here then. So are there any characters in the Phoenix squad that you think would be good ones to focus on leveling? Suppose you have to get them a little bit higher level. which ones would you focus on first to bring up because they're useful in other aspects
I
of the
think
game?
we need to see the event partially, but I think if you were gonna look at it as a group, you probably would want to look at Hera, you probably would want to look at Ezra, and you probably would want to look at Sabine. Just as my first three that I would just think offhand. I think you can if you get to include Chopper in the deal, he's probably the least likely one that I would say, oh, you got to level up Chopper. Just my thoughts.
What about you, Smithy?
I probably wouldn't do Chopper personally. I guess find out is it's hard to say. I can't see on making it too difficult because I could probably see that. Yeah, I don't know how it would be received if it's really difficult. I'd probably say Gear 7, 8, 9, around about that mark. Around about level 70 should do the job because you got to remember, as a team, if you've got 7 there, they're pretty much, if you put some health mods on them, they're going to be pretty much unkillable. So all the shared uniques that they're going to get as a team, I don't think it'll be too difficult because the team is generally, it's okay. On that side of things, they can really last. And probably as long as there's no Niluses or moles in the event, you'll be all right.
Yeah, hopefully, we get a lot of boxes and parked TIE fighters.
I mean, especially because at least the first event is targeted for level 30, right? So I feel like, and my personal guess would be that the first event unlocks the Ghost and the second event unlocks the Phantom, because they say you can't do the second one without completing the first one, and you wouldn't have a Phantom shuttle without a Ghost ship. So that's okay. Never mind. I was just being an idiot. It shows both blueprints as being awards. Never mind.
Me, Jackie,
just have to see.
You only get one ship for the entire week. You get to pick.
Ghost all the way.
Anybody else have thoughts on this one?
I mean, I'm pretty much the same. The only one I might add to that is Kanan because he's also a Jedi, so he may fit in with the Jedi group. But but Ezra, Sabine, and Hera for sure because of her lead ability would be the ones that I would look at in terms of focusing on if you need to level up some a little higher. All right. So when we were talking about SWGOH, we had a question from Eric James asking, what is the collection score?
Okay, so what is the collection score? So collection score, if you go into SWGOH and you go to your own profile, they actually tell you what collection score is. Collection score is a percentage of all characters collected. Gear, tier, star, and level. So everything is rated equally. Gear tier 1 through gear tier 11 count towards your score. Each star counts towards your score, and each level counts towards your score. So that's how they come up with it. It's a totally ambiguous number. If you are looking to see personally whether or not you have a good squad, I'd probably look more at gear 11s, and I'd probably look more at gear 10s and more at 7 stars than I would at total collection score. It's just my personal opinion on it. It's like anything else. It's like price per pound on beef. It's this made up number, right? And all of a sudden you're like, filet mignon, that's like $11 a pound. Well, you don't ever buy a pound of it, so it doesn't matter. It's like price per square foot on a house. It's a weird number that you come up with to try to compare things, but it's not really a great comparison between two individuals. Anybody else agree or disagree?
Well, that's good.
I agree.
You going to read the question before that one, or are we going to skip that one?
Which one?
The one that he said above, the one Eric James, there's a question above that one.
Let me see. I may have just skipped through it.
It's you want me to read it?
Yeah,
I'll
go
read
ahead.
it. I think we probably need to say it just so everyone can know. Is it weird that this is an RSG stream, but everyone is now Team Instinct? Everyone is not Team Instinct. As far
Break
as
it
I
down.
know, as far as I know, we have one guy who's in VHG, and we have one guy who's in Reality Skewed Gamers, and
which is part of the alliance.
which is part of the alliance. We have one guy that's in Dark Lords of Valor, and we have two guys that are in Team Instinct. And I don't know what the name of Sir Loki's guild is. Can you please tell us?
I am currently in New Resistance, Mexico, of all things,
Okay.
and I'm having
Okay.
a blast with these guys.
Awesome. So I would say that Reality Skewed Gamers, while we do really support the Reality Skewed, the RSG Psi Guild, just because we all feel a certain amount of love and affection towards that guild, we do the stream and it's a little different.
Mhm.
Is that a fair? Does anybody feel like I misrepresented that?
No.
Okay.
No, you can all promote your stuff too.
Okay.
All right. And then the last question that I have listed here is from Grim asking, is the Empire rework confirmed? No. It's our guess based on their cryptic message that they put at the end of the update. There's definitely something coming for Empire because it says the Empire is going on the offensive, and then veering their forces for second pass. So I think Veer is definitely gonna get something here because they use that word, and not only that, the second pass, which sounds like rework. Just our guess. Nothing confirmed yet, though.
I mean,
Ranger, please annihilate Barris. Somebody said that.
Oh, I'm just screwing around, guys. It's GW. It's the last node.
Okay.
I just have something up so it's on the screen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
After that ship battle, you're losing some cred here.
I'm not losing
the,
any cred.
I would.
So let me
would
get
like
this
to-
right. I lost cred because, let me make sure I understand this. I lost a battle with a ship I'd never used before. Then I won 2 ship battles, which I'm sure Mage Ducky had a stroke. But I still won, and I'm doing everything
Yes.
else. So no, I'm not losing any cred.
We do have another question from John Kanab asking, how is a whale like Ranger so bad at ship battles?
I'm not.
Hey,
What is
can
going
we?
on?
He's not bad. He's not bad at ship battles.
No, he's not.
He's
Okay,
really
so
not.
I'd like to say this for the viewers because it may or may not have come across differently earlier. Ranger is not bad at ship battles. I disagree with some of the choices he makes in ship battles, but that doesn't mean he's just straight up bad.
That's like the Grande Patron compliment sandwich.
Oh my god. So
Say something nice, then say something bad, and then say something nice.
I didn't say anything, but I'm saying like I don't
Grande
just say,
Patron compliment sandwich. Now it's got my name on it. So.
Yes,
Like-
the Grande
like-
Patron compliment sandwich.
that's why I comment, just because I disagree with what he's choosing, but that
Right.
doesn't mean he's a bad player.
Dark. Here we go. Eric James, rewrite your question so I can read it. But let's look at Dark Grape. He says, touched on before, but the value of Cassian's U-Wing bundle. I bought it.
Yeah.
Anybody else here buy Cassian's U-Wing bundle for $40?
Well, it's a good deal, isn't it? If you look at Boba, $30 was it, or $40? What was it, $40? And you only got the Boba and what is it, 4-star Slave 1, where you're getting the ship 80 shards for Jin.
Yeah.
The only problem is you're getting K2SO in there, but hey, I think it's still worth it if you wanted to win shards and Castian, but it depends on. Great for a new starter.
I thought it was a really
Great
good
for anyone
deal.
that wants the U-Wing.
I bought it, and I bought it because I wanted to get Cassian done, and I wanted to get it. Got Cassian done for me, it got Jen done for me, and it almost got K2SO done for me. And I got the ship out of the deal. That made perfect sense to buy it. If I got basically 3 characters to 7-star, or almost 7-star, and I got a ship out of it, I was like, why? How is, and I'm a spender, right? And I think that there's the potential there that Cassian's U-Wing could be good at some point in certain fleet comps.
Mhm.
So, Warrior from Team Instinct has shown that he's able to do that. So we had another question here from Graham, which is theorized this one. Zeta Vader lead, Shore Trooper, GK, Gar, and Death Trooper. I think Sir Loki actually kind of touched on a team similar to that at one point. So Zeta lead, Shore Trooper, GK, Gar Saxon, and Death Trooper was very similar to a team he thought he might test out. Isn't that right, Sir Loki?
Yeah. The only issue I have with that particular comp is we don't know how much damage Gar is gonna do. So, it's very tanky, and I like to have a lot of AOE. Like, I like to have a lot of guys, the Empire tunes that have the AOEs teamed up with Vader, because you get that much more turn meter reduction chance. So I'm just putting that one out there to consider. But you get the retribution from GK. That'll then give retribution to Gar, and it'll give retribution to Death Trooper. So you can see some really good synergy right there. And as long as you can survive the opening barrage of attacks from the Zol teams, it could go the distance. That's what I see.
I see that too. Eric James wrote his question again. The team is Zeta Maul, Sunfec, Geospy, Sid, and Emperor Palpatine. The debuffs and Sunfec speed up from Geospy. How would it be? That seems like a good old Maurice team. In some ways, he has a really maxed out Geospy. I think it'd be good. I mean, you got a lot of debuffs going on. Usually, whenever I see a team with a bunch of debuffs like that, I want to put TIE Fighter Pilot on it. But Zeta Maul is only speeding up himself and EP, using a little bit of turn meter on the deal. I don't think it's the best team you could make. Anybody else's thoughts on that team? Zeta Maul, EP, Sunfac, Geospy, and Sid. Oh, he does speed up Sid too. Anybody else's thoughts on that team?
I'm not a fan of Geospy's character.
Yeah, so. You and me both, Maze Ducky.
No, make that like 3.
Anytime somebody brings up Geospy in an arena team, I'm like, can we make a better choice?
I heard he's quite good for phase 3 of the AAT.
I could see that, but not as an arena team, I don't think.
It doesn't seem to be capitalizing on any of the debuffs that much, though.
Yeah. Knights Templar, my buddy, has a question. He says, who would you go first in a Zeta Maul team with Nihilus and Sith Assassin? Maul or whoever else? Would you want Sith Assassin to pop her stealth and give turn meter to all Sith? Then I'm assuming Nihilus would go last. So yes, so this team's been theorized before as far as a Maul, Nihilus, Sith Assassin team, Emperor Palpatine, or somebody else on that team, and basically trying to time the turn meter in the first turn so that it goes right, so that Nihilus definitely gets to pull all the cooldowns down one. I think the challenge with that team and doing it that way is that you get perfect turn meter order on the first round, but you lose speed on the other rounds.
Yeah.
So I think you're basically saying that the first order of your characters matters more than the rest of the match. And if you're going 4 or 5 rounds, I think you could potentially be losing out on trying to time that order. It's the same as how we used to time orders on droid teams under Jawa Engineer. We used to think that there was a perfect way to do it and overclock anybody, and then later we realized just overclock, so that way everybody got the speed the second and third and fourth round.
Mm-hmm. Well put. King Felix, how long were you in for? I was in for 11 years. Grande, how long were you in service for?
I was in for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's interesting that they know both. That they know you were in.
Yeah.
They must just know it from your name.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were in though, Grande.
Yeah, Grande was an old
Yep,
army
8
poo-poo head like me.
We're both old army dudes. We both
Nice.
bleed green.
That's
No, that doesn't mean
I
we're
never heard
Vulcan.
that. I never heard that term until I got here.
You're master of the butt socks and your BFs.
Oh,
I really-
I've learned
God.
many things here.
I really want to run Zeta Maul, Darth Nihilus, Sith Assassin, EP, and Sunfac as a standalone non-Sith. What are our thoughts on that? So,
That's pretty much all Sith, except for one character.
well, it's basically all Sith except for one, right? And that's a relatively good comp. The challenge is going to be the fact that you're the challenge is going to be the fact that everybody's wailing all on poor old Sunfac, and if he's got days, then he's just basically sitting there as a meat bag. So
Yep.
so that could be a serious challenge, right? If you were going up against a mirror team, for example, and if you were going up against somebody else who had
Well, Sunfac is completely useless even without days. Even if he's countering, you're attacking stealth people.
Yeah.
There's nothing to counter.
you can't counter a stealth person, so that makes it another challenge. I think potentially somebody else could be there.
Yeah, you would need
Other
a
than
different meat bag tank in there.
Yes.
I mean, if you're looking for somebody kind of non-Sith to fill in there, Stormtrooper Han maybe to speed up the rest of the characters.
Ranger
Maybe
ran a team like that for a long time.
Which character?
Maybe still does.
We can look at
running four Sith and Stormtrooper Han.
Yeah, I did start off with that just to get the turn meter, but then I went with Kylo Ren. So
You moved Kylo Ren into that.
yeah, and it works out pretty well. I mean, my team is well, if I can pull the damn thing. Okay, it's Maul lead, Emperor Palpatine, Nihilus Assassin, and Kylo Ren, and I have it clocked. I do need to redo the mods. Me and Grandi had talked about this team and how we can make it efficient, but I think we can make it a little bit more efficient.
Yes, and we work on making it more efficient.
That's right.
That's for sure.
But I'm thinking about changing because I am farming the snot out of Chase, and I've got Rex going, and I'm about to have Kenobi soon, so I may change some stuff up. We'll see. So,
Yeah. All right, that's all the questions I see.
Yep.
Poor old MJ is like, my God, you're still streaming.
Ranger
we're
that.
over 2 hours. We're like,
Ranger that, MJ. This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do. That's for sure.
All right. Any other questions?
All right.
I think we're good on stuff,
I think we're
right?
good.
I think we're all ready. Just so remember, guys, 1,000 subscribers.
Like and subscribe, bro. Like and
Yes.
subscribe.
You'll have a 1,000 subscribers by next week.
You think so? We'll see.
Well,
I'd love to see.
Well,
I'd love to
if you
see.
spend
something-
$100, aren't you?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to get enjoyment.
It's gonna be like-
Cool. So I'm going to go on Reddit tomorrow. I'm going to say, check this out. I'm going to get the pack openings that you did on a couple of streams ago where I was laughing. And I'm going to put a little voice over it, make a little video. And I'll be like, you want to see more of this on Wednesday night? Make sure you subscribe so he buys it so we can all laugh again.
I would love that. That'd be so cool.
Well, if we do hit the mark, should I just let once we go live, let the fans pick which packs they want me to open, vote on it? You know, maybe they want me to do ships or something, or we just want to do chromiums.
Chromiums.
no, we can let them pick.
Yeah, we'll
Whatever you want is your roster.
Chromiums is just more funny for Ranger because you
I
just
know,
get
it's
caught
horrible.
and
It is.
Sidious and
Mace. Oh
I
look,
vote Chromium.
oh look, I got Royal Guard. Great. And then Eric
I
James
don't
Hunt.
know what you hear is me laughing. Was it I did the laughing sound, wasn't it?
Want to know how I got these scars? Um, Eric, if you come into our
Oh.
Discord Q&A, you want to get your roster review, just send us a message, my friend. We will more than gladly look at your stuff and get you squared away. Hey, Shy Bears 216, thanks for joining us at the end. All right. Sorry, buddy. I love Shy Bears, but man, he's like, "What's up, guys?" I'm like, sorry, buddy. Oh, right at the end. All right, so real quick, we will be in the Discord afterwards. You can link down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody being out. The gauntlet has been thrown. Let's see what happens. You can find us at realityscutegamers.blogspot.com for our website. We've got a lot of great information there. We have a lot of new merchandise, and guys, the merchandising, the money we make on the stream goes directly back into the stream. So, so you can support us that way. Um, Facebook, Twitter, they're up there. You can see where they're at, so check those out. But definitely give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. Let's go around the table so people can know where people are at. Smith Lord, where can people find you at, Smithy D?
On YouTube, Smithy D, and Twitter at the Smithy D.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's Marketing 101 by Smithy. Sir Loki, where can people check you out at, sir?
You can click on my name, Sir Loki. I got a YouTube channel. Right now, doing some. What did I put up recently? I put up some Nihilus Lead arena,
Nice.
and still working on breaking the 3 million in Phase 3 with the Tebow turn meter team. So, if you want to theorycraft some more, I hang out in everybody's chat room. So I'm in the RSG chat room. I'm in FTB, Row, all on Discord. And then if you want to hit me up online, my line ID is DJ SIRLOKI. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And then Mage Ducky, anything you want to pimp, my friend?
Come to the Sunday night ship show
Yes,
that
it's
is going to
fantastic.
be talking very heavily about the new Phoenix ships.
And you can see me intentionally mess up so Ducky has a stroke.
Yeah,
I just want to say, everybody, during that's not real. Okay, this is a show. We
no,
have fun. So when
yeah, yeah.
Ducky's and I'm giving him a hard time, that's what we do. So I just get a kick out of some people like they're being so harsh. Like, no, dude, it's cool.
No, Ranger and I have fun. We go back and forth.
Yes,
So.
yes, it's all in good fun, and a lot of times I'll intentionally do stuff so I can just get a reaction out of Ducky, like, "Oh yeah, watch this, buddy." Oh my God, what are you doing, Ranger? What do you mean? That's the way I play, brah. Where you at? Come at me, brah. And then Grande, anything you want to pin, bud?
Just like and subscribe so we can make fun. Now in the next show, blow $100. Like and subscribe.
Maybe Ranger will do another ship battle for us all with his Batmobile.
Yeah, the
Batwing.
We got 5 subscribers since we've said that.
Here I am. It's not the ship I use, but how I use it in battle that defines me. I think that's everybody, right? Grande, anything you want to pimp besides that? I think you've been doing little videos on your channel.
I've got some little videos on if you can just search for me, Grande Patron, or just hit the button whenever I type something in chat.
Yeah.
And I've been doing some little arena battles that are just real quick, not a whole lot of edits, just so you can see me. So you can see me play against all my buddies. And I mean, we got a bunch of on my arena server. We have a bunch of guys who have who have Zeta everything, and they're crazy. And then usually after payouts, which is right about now, we all throw up crazy junk and we all see how it's working. And sometimes it works great, and sometimes
it works,
like, and sometimes I'm like,
it doesn't.
Sometimes I'm like, fool, put that crap away. Like, put back up your regular team. That was terrible.
Imagine if Ducky saw that, he'd be like, "Oh my God, what is going on here?"
But if you want to see that potentially a Darth Nihilus Zeta lead did not work as well as it should have, or if you want to see what like Krennic and Death Trooper look like together, or you want to see 100 different variations of a Rex led team, um, that's kind of what we fight. We're always fighting and trying to figure out what the new meta is. So definitely take a look at that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so come join us in the Discord. We're going to continue the fun, and that's, as I said, link below. So, on behalf of myself and the crew, I want to thank everybody for being out here, and we appreciate all you guys' support. And we will definitely check you guys out on the flip side. Can check us out. See Sunday, Friday. I always hang out with the furnaces. And
Yep.
Saturday morning we have the Smithy D Jedi Academy, so you can check that out 10 a.m. Eastern. And then Saturday we have our fun show we do, and then Sunday night is the Ship Spectacular show. And I do think we also have some other stuff coming up, like some more Diablo, Range Duckety coming out, that's and the Clone P4 video. So all that stuff will be coming out soon. So stay tuned, and we will check you guys out on Saturday. Talk to you later.